what's that interlude? We're
Yeah,
live.
what's this?
Oh wow.
So we are live, and they're at session 49 with the extra music introduced by Josh.
Sorry.
This singing paladin.
At least he's not eating at the moment.
Yes. Well,
We managed to eat dinner before we went live 2 weeks in a row.
I know. Someone's like, and Josh, are you eating? No.
Drinking coffee
That's
instead
right.
today.
Yes, we can have these like...
So okay, so we'll go around the table and get people to introduce themselves. So we'll start off with Ross. You're up.
Yes, I am playing Godfrey, the swashbuckling pirate, ever-aging halfling.
Well, if you didn't age, then you'd be dead.
No, I'd be undead.
Not even undead people age.
I thought it just rots.
They do. They're still aging.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, the weekly aging. Now I remember. I'm currently looking for a gnome so I can actually have it called Grogu, so I can look after it, so I can get over this bloody curse.
Okay. Yeah, he's wanting to have a little Dragon Ball Z character throw fireballs for him.
No,
while
Grogu.
constipated. I know. I just like to confuse the two names.
But that's Grogu's a monkey that ends up going, it's over 9,000. He'll beat the crap out of me.
Possibly.
And destroy half the world.
And I see very similar parallels with those characters.
Great. So, you're going to get invaded by space creatures. Oh, we already have. They're called cats.
Well, they have had space creatures here for quite a while. And so moving around to our next player, Stefan.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, I am and I am playing...
Chauffeur.
Just checking which name I'm using.
Chauffeur, Mdrak, and Titus.
Yes. Sofa Chauffeur, whichever the above, and 9 mount.
At least you don't have the mount jealousy problem going.
Yeah. That's the reason I'm still here as an elf. But yes, so interesting bard, lots of teenage angst, thrown a couple of mishaps and whatever happened here. I'm pretty sure you maintain spirit anyway. Yeah.
At least it's now no longer a curse, it's a blessing.
Yeah. Exactly. How to make money from a curse will be my next book.
Vocal song. Both. Are you starting to do an autobiography?
Yes, it'll be a magical rune in the back. Place the song.
You shall be happy.
Happy stick.
It's always funny when you have certain people tell you things. We do have a NPC cat in the alternate Friday game whose only form of communication is shouting in people's minds.
So it's a Cheshire cat that stalks everybody.
Probably.
He's not quite Cheshire's giant Black Panther, we think, but you know.
It's the Wobberjack.
His Wobberjack. Oh, okay.
I'm sure he would enjoy that name. Just so we can go around and annoy people with a name you created. So, talking about creating names, Josh.
I love creating names. So I am playing Chauvel. I am the beacon of hope, to say the least, or what the hell is that over there, Paladin?
I thought it was more like, look, Paladin.
No. You see him and it goes Paladin. You're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the Paladin. Oh, God. Oh, yes. Get the Paladin off my face.
Scream
So,
Paladin and you even glance at it.
Teaching people who cannot read how to read.
Well, they don't see the words. They just hear the. Instantly know he's a paladin.
I thought he had paladins floating above him.
It's the equivalent of having paladins floating above him. Everyone who sees him just knows paladin.
Yeah.
So he may call himself chauffeur, but everyone will basically see paladin.
I'm calling myself a chauffeur at this stage.
Plus side, I don't think we've actually run into many enemies.
But the person
who I'm like meant to be like chauffeuring around is like always
Never
running
there.
off doing their own adventures. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you determined long ago that there was no need to
It means
continue.
I'm up the hook and can have some fun.
It means you don't have to look after them. But then again, looking after them was problematic.
Oh, I'm fine.
That mess, this confusion, everyone else okay.
Well, no. But you have to remember, you're the one who caused the mess.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah.
No. I called
no,
her own
she
mess.
caused her own mess.
No.
That one I did cause.
Oh no, actually,
no.
no, you did. You did kill my parents.
If you didn't kill the parents off,
Yeah,
he
you
wouldn't
killed
be
his
a skull
parents.
and a ball, and she wouldn't be an arrow.
That was
No,
true.
I understand that bit. But the person there,
Yeah,
that's not my
yeah.
fault.
The
But
failed
you
version.
grew up as an orphan.
You're very. You're not entirely unhappy with the situation. He might be
You
in
grew
about
up as
30
an
seconds
orphan, so
though.
that's the reason.
Yeah, it's a lumberjack.
I'm like, no, I'll give you Colin. You're the one who demanded I be killed.
So then moving on to the mess to explain themselves. Yeah.
Yay!
Well, run
Oh,
down.
okay, yeah, so the tallying list of things that have gone wrong in my life. Somebody killed my parents and I never know who it is. Yeah, but now I know who it is. I have both my mother and father carried on me at all times, which not many people can say, and it's kind of weird, so...
But you also had your uncle at the time.
And look, your dad constantly says your name.
Yes, and he also doesn't say my name constantly.
So,
I've got my axe beak and my horse who are getting territorial over me.
So, listen to me, son.
And I'm trying to work out the whole cleric balancing act with being a wizard now as well, and liking both aspects of my culture, and it's just a hot mess.
You're
So,
a wizard.
I'm a wizard and a cleric and the previous ranger, so yeah, my life is going
You
great.
can multi-class.
I already have.
You can multi-class again.
I can't actually. My god has blocked me from classing into ranger again, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I
You
can
gave
still,
that up.
I can still shoot my arrow, my bow and arrow, but I can't get any of the feats. and
That's
stuff.
right, you've chosen necromancy, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You're a necromancer now.
She is exactly what her people hate the most.
Which is funny because I'm
You're
also,
undead, son.
I'm not undead. No, it's funny. I'm both what my people like and dislike at the same time. It's gonna be great when it gets out.
You are...
So you cancel each other out?
Maybe. Or like, hey, we're not so bad after all over here.
sounds like my family rather than
Your axe beak's still a problem.
Are you getting better?
Yeah.
I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Artemis and Chocobo are just both very chocolate
I will try it necromancy. I tried it once, like, no, backhand god.
Listen, it wasn't even your god either.
You were melting my bed!
And then moving around to the cat off the table.
No, it's Calcrix, the white drag with the jazz wing being played by the white cat with the jazz ears. No?
That would work. But he seems happy.
So I'm Calcrix, the white dragon with the
No,
jazz
it's turned
wings.
into a cat.
He's currently got a very happy cat.
Lumberjack.
Oh.
No. This is the Cheshire cat that keeps messing with our memories.
Yeah, the lumberjack.
I'm sure he'll wander up and tell us all off at some point. Okay.
Josh is here, he's not playing with me. Meow.
And so Ariada's going to do the recap for us. What happened last
I
session?
am?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
you're going to do the recap. We decided to start recording so we could capture the whole moment.
I see. So, Yodri Cheval, Zal, Calcrix, Kichuchu, Cthulhu, and Helena von Van Sing,
You
Von
want to
Sing.
sing.
Von Sing,
Mhm.
were in the Knights River Tavern at the start of the last game. We met Helena and Kichuchu in the tavern, and we made friends. And Helena mentions that she has just finished a quest involving werewolves. Drazel came in, and we invited him for dinner, which he accepted. and we asked if there was any way for him to help Yodri with his gnomish curse. He said no, but he mentioned a future where Yodri has one eye. Kachuchu and Calcrix play a non-drinking drinking game where Calcrix exchanges coffee for alcohol, which I then gave to Zal, who put in her tankard and changed it into water and then drank it. Then there's a mention of airships, so the group goes to the air dock to see one take off, which is the Rakasa ship. Second ship was staying in the docks, and we find out from a Griffin riding guard that it was an Alphatian air Janazi ship with 300 to 400 crew. We return to the inn to sleep. Calcrix sleeps with Cheval to keep warm, and is observed by Cthulhu on the ceiling.
You're a personal hero. Because you were personal everything last game.
You reluctantly accepted my company so that I would sleep. The next morning, sorry?
I mean, it saved you from the mess that was going on at the time.
Yeah, you did. So you can thank me later. Next morning.
Thank you!
See, he thanked me straight away. It was quite nice.
We met with Regin. Yeah, you did. You're welcome.
Sure, no one noticed that.
Regin, who said he'll think about a mission which aids him but also assists Yodri, and to come back. He mentions that he would not have minded more info about the airship and asked us if we talked to the captain. So we made our way through a halfling apple cider festival with very potent cider. Yodri tried some, but the gnome curse meant it tasted awful. At the air dock, the captain Leonidas agreed to talk with us. He did not reveal much, just that there was about 300 to 400, and they are travelling to the pirate nation of Erendi.
That's correct.
And that they'd been to the Isle of Dawn as well as reconnoitring other unnamed places. We stopped off at the Temple of Ixion to see if we could check whether Helena had lycanthropy. She did not, but ended up mopping their floors. Cheval made a donation of 5 gold, Calcrix donated 1 gold, and then did a guided meditation with Cthulhu, which turned out to be boring enough for her to pay another gold to leave. Zal?
I'll do nothing. So I'll save you from getting burnt up by the Rakasa ship an extra gold, and you bought my Axby a
Collar of sleep, yeah, to use on her Axby Chocobo. Chocobo, sorry. We also restocked our provisions and bought socks for Cthulhu. We went and had a spiced grilled fish for dinner and then back to the inn.
Yes, I'm just playing darts at the menu.
Yes. You did very good. You ordered 24 for everybody. Number 24 meal, not 24 meals for everybody.
That would be hilarious if that was 24 meals.
It is a halfling restaurant.
I have a feeling Cthulhu could have eaten it all. That's awesome.
And considering it could quite easily have been course number 24.
True.
Little did she know that course 24 was also the calamari.
I don't think she had any ethical or moral issues with that.
No, it's because she's a cannibalist.
Didn't care what she ate, she just wanted to eat.
Yeah. And if it moved, it was interesting.
Right.
And if it talked back, well, that was just more interesting.
So, I'm gathering that's morning at the Night River Inn?
It is morning at the Night River Inn. You managed to come down without any real hangovers, which is great considering some of you were only drinking water. It would have been really bad if water gave you a hangover.
That would be hilarious if like the tankard had like a
Please tell me
palate.
that Kachuchu has a coffee hangover.
Well, Kachuchu's not there.
But,
Kachuchu disappeared overnight.
Or
Though apparently, while you are unaffected by the alcohol, you actually have the hangover of the alcohol.
How is that possible?
seriously? He's got a hangover?
He's cursed.
Even though he...
Well, even though he used
He gets no,
to take
he gets
No,
no
no,
benefits
I
from it, but he still gets the penalty.
I had one.
And he hasn't had one for such a long time that he woke up with a hangover.
You don't have a tankard like I do you?
I do.
No. Yes,
you
he does.
do?
But he tried one without the
I
tank.
tried it without it. I just only wanted to know if I still got the taste.
Yeah, but like you got told that the curse was going to make that taste like
No,
shit.
no. I wasn't told. All I know that it said I was going to
I
feel
would
the
like
pain.
to note for the game on the recording, I've got dice I can read today.
Okay.
And I did editing. I pointed it out to you a week ago.
You did. And I've added down an extra bonus. Okay.
I think we've probably done well.
I'm hoping that was.
Considering we, for like the last 3 weeks we haven't used rerolls until like 10 o'clock.
That does happen. And last session, usually I didn't update the game numbers, so...
Does that mean we get an extra reroll?
No.
No.
You never, no one else pointed it out.
No, it means I don't age. Because time has not happened.
But now you've actually
And now you've missed an entire session.
I did ask you
Yeah.
for the year and the game number. You didn't have the information at the time, and so I allowed you to go without giving
Game
me
number and year are different things.
No, I asked if you had the game and year information.
This is getting into real picky
Yeah.
I just wanted to acknowledge that I did ask.
You did ask, yes.
That's it. That's all I wanted. I don't want to re-roll. I was joking about that.
Unless it's too late. Oh,
look, there's a writer I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know them too.
Yeah. Lots of them. Does that mean I'm famous? 2 people know me.
I know you.
3 people know me. I'm a celebrity.
Celebrity.
Alright,
So you're going to be on the celebrity, get me out.
Oh, please don't do that.
I'm a celebrity and I'm going to sue, was it Channel 10?
My mum said she wanted to vote for someone on that, and I was like, you actually watched that rubbish?
Who did you want to vote for?
I think the one she said, like, she had snakes on her or something.
Okay.
So she wants to torment them more? So you vote the person you want to stake and get tormented the most?
Yeah, I don't know how it works because I don't know
Yeah,
what
well, that person
No,
got
I've
bitten
seen
3
ads.
times.
So the basic thing is the person who's most popular stays on longer.
Yeah.
Or it's the person who's most popular gets voted off. So the idea is you want to vote to have the person you dislike the most stay on there the longest to get tormented the most.
No, I know, but
But they
like,
also get money, right?
No,
For the charity.
the charity gets
but
money.
that's okay.
They get nothing except more celebrity.
This season has been chances that they could have killed the celebrities.
Wow.
Well, one of them got bitten by a python 3 or 4 times. That's the one with the snakes in the
Ow.
oh, was that that lady? Because
Yeah.
my mum was talking about that. She was
Another
like,
time they
this is
decided
so
to put people in freezing water, and basically they had to stay there the longest.
And they could get
So-
hypothermia.
So they're
and they
encouraging
end up-
hypothermia.
No, they ended up getting hypothermia. And then there was another snake attack.
Snake attack,
They don't
hospitalization.
make it easy for them.
Hospitalization.
No, because they try to improve on previous seasons presumably.
By making it more vicious, more harmful, more conflict and
I don't know
sensationalism.
that that's acceptable entirely.
It's like Big Brother. Big Brother does more ridiculous things to the housemates each year.
I watched the very first one of those, but only because I didn't have
Anything else?
streaming back then.
Now you have streaming, don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, this is what I had anime for.
See, I had a black and white TV with only 2 channels, so that's how Big Brother became my
Staple.
staple of choice when I finished work and I was eating dinner, and I just wanted something to watch while I ate dinner, and then
It's totally fair, but like, I had a computer internet, so I had
Maybe I should update this so it actually shows the correct people here.
I didn't have the internet, but I did have a laptop. I had like this big old heavy gateway. Do you remember gateway? They've been out of business for ages. They had like the cow square. Oh, probably. That's what I was.
Yeah, the gateway
Sorry.
used to be across the road from Overland.
So we're wandering around this town.
No, we're
Now
not.
we're in, waiting for Redrin, because Redrin said he'd meet us today and give us the
Because I
task.
think he said, give me a day to see if we can find a task that suits him as well as maybe helping your dream.
There's no stealing on your ship.
You don't like airships?
No, he doesn't want to steal another one. Him to steal another one.
No, don't steal another airship. That's bad. Look at the dragon. Don't steal another airship.
Proving that you can break into the damn thing.
And then you put...
You are already a wonderful, awesome person. You don't need to break into an airship to prove that. Right? Look, I remember the dragon.
Maybe if it's an Elfari.
A what?
whatever the
Alphasian one.
Alphasian one.
I'm sure that won't go down wrong.
No,
No, I would actually deliberately crash that one.
Into what?
The ocean.
Yes,
Isn't it like,
the pirate ocean. So he'll hit one of the ocean races down there, and pollute their water.
depends on what he rolls, right?
Well, there's no major water area that doesn't have a population in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Take your word for it.
They have the underwater races here as well.
Oh, they have underwater races. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. I didn't think about that at all.
So they are spread all over the coast.
Mermaids and sea dragons.
Tritons, shark folk, octopus folk. So there are quite a few different races.
How quick is those soft and
Okay, so as you're sitting down there having breakfast, which is being piled into, probably because it was needed after the running around people were doing yesterday, and the fact that some of you might have hangovers.
So is it chocolate cheesecake?
Sure.
Yay!
Oh god, the dragon's gonna get fat.
I'm not getting fat. I keep fit. I run around a lot. Have you seen how hyper I get? There's no possible way I could gain weight.
Depends on how many things you eat. Well, they say you are what you eat.
I like chocolate cheesecake.
Breakfast? I mean, come on, like, there's
Don't
boundaries.
I have a whole day in front of me to burn it off instead of at night when I go to sleep and I don't burn anything?
Try to use
Come on,
logic
there's
on the
logic there,
priest.
right?
But yeah, okay, there's a little bit of logic there, but
Little
still,
logic there.
still very thin logic. You're not
Is it-
supposed to eat a whole cheesecake.
I didn't say I was eating the whole cheesecake.
So
I
there-
said I was having cheesecake for breakfast.
I can see the logic going through Zell there. It's like, if you have a cheesecake at the start, you'll burn it off, but I have to spend that time with you. If you have it at night, you're not going to burn it off and probably put it on, but I don't have to spend that time with you.
Cheval does.
So restoration.
It was funny enough because we both have that, so... And for totally different reasons, too.
Oh no, for the exact same reason.
Yeah, okay.
Your troublesome aspect.
I will be a good dragon and eat proteins for breakfast. Good dragon supposed to.
Good healthy bacon and eggs.
Okay, and you have Chauffeur joining you for the first time in a little while, after having been secluded with her bear.
I run up to the sofa and give her a hug.
We've been worried about you.
And then I babble at her about all the things she's missed out on
I groan.
in as fast a language as I possibly can without taking a breath until I run out of breath and then I go and then I go,
You're right there. You kind of been
Very
absent
much as the silence.
code of silence.
And during that pause, all you hear is the sound of something grinding. Crunch, 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 crunch.
Is that the morning coffee being
Yep.
made?
yeah, I'm doing the washing.
He waits for pauses to start his work.
Of course he does.
I mean, how long has he been at the Dragon now? Like, a year?
Yeah, well, if the dragon's talking, the dragon's not going to know and it's not going to be expecting. But if the dragon hears it while it's paused, it will stop what it's doing and turn around and go, coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Happens every time.
That is true.
And then everyone else gets some peace and quiet while the coffee's getting
So
made.
Grindelwald saves your ears because I hear the grinding of the coffee beans and run off to get my coffee.
Excellent.
You pay him well.
I mean, the dragon pays him well, but still.
I'm sure the rest of the party will be slipping him coin every now and then to make sure he keeps it up.
Probably.
Okay, so after the dragon returns with a happy, content look on her face,
I've calmed down, drank the coffee. You suspect I have ADHD.
You're like, what, 6-year-old dragon.
Calms down after a caffeine hit.
So we never suspected we knew.
not addicted at all. No, not addicted at all. Would never happen to a dragon. Okay, then Richard comes in after all that time. Says, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're well rested and spent your day fruitfully.
predictably, I run up and give him a hug.
He just pats you on the top of the head as usual.
That's fine.
If by fruitful you mean we watched a couple of airships take off and didn't really get much information about them, then sure.
Well, I'm not expecting you to solve everything every day.
But some of the dragon in particular is very excited to learn about the ship, so...
Yes, I know the dragon keeps trying to solve the world's problems every day. You're working on it, one day at a time.
We'll get there.
Coffee?
I had some earlier.
Okay. More from me.
I believe he's making you another one as we speak. So, you were looking for a job that might help. I have been speaking to the gnomish community, and they have decided that they will suspend the halfling sentence if he carries out a task for them. Something they can't do themselves.
Okay.
Does he accept their task?
Yes, so I'll just get these thing that's a bit above their reach and put it down.
I suspect it might be more complex than that, but geez, wouldn't it be lovely if it was that easy?
Does it involve... not involve him becoming a factory for someone?
It does.
That's good!
That's
helpful.
That's sounding
Like to
propitious.
point out, the first question that should have been asked is it doesn't involve death.
That was going to be my next question. Are we going to be harming anyone or killing anyone?
Not
'Cause
as far as he
I'd rather
knows.
not.
Yeah, no, I think Sofa means more death and murder for us than anything else.
Oh, okay. You're worried about your own life.
You're not?
Why? Why are you
No, I don't think Kalshrik is worried about your life.
That explains everything.
Apparently, she's not as big a fan of you as everyone else is.
No, I just want to know why you're an adventurer and a quester if you're worried about your life.
She's your manager.
Yeah, that's true.
And she'll get more sales if you die.
I'm concerned if my manager has no self-preservation instincts. We're going to have no manager soon.
I have self-preservation.
Apparently not.
I thought it was no show for preservation. Because, when the artist dies, their songs are worth so much more.
Oh, I see. Right, okay.
You've now tweaked on it?
Yeah, this sounds like a
Perfect manager.
background plan by Grindelwald.
No, Grindelwald likes your music.
Yes, that's
As
the
all
point.
gnomes do.
Yes, exactly. That's why it's his plan.
Don't worry, I'm sure they've got all the rights to his songs now. They put in all the patents.
We have all the patents to all the remixes.
And the originals too now.
Do we?
Yeah.
I tell Grindelwald well done.
He's been working on it in every city he goes to.
Do I have a bag of holding full of parchments?
No, he does.
Okay.
Has it in the... I'm not even going to ask him. He does.
What's this?
Don't worry about it.
It only holds paper.
Oh, okay.
Like all Gnomish, archives.
I did not know this about gnomes. So what is this task?
Well, they need to return a child to its parents.
Oh, okay. A gnomish child?
No, that's the problem.
What sort of child?
Yeah.
You don't know a race?
Nope.
Do we know an age?
Nope.
Do we know a location?
Nope.
Do we have any information on this child?
Well, they're going to bring the child along today if he agrees.
Oh, okay, so they have this child.
They have the child, but they don't know what race it is, where it comes from, or where it goes.
And we just need to figure that out and take them to back to the
I
parents.
don't know what race
Okay,
supposed to be
so
really all-knowing.
Not me. No, I'm a merchant.
Redrin's
He's also from he is technologically from the past, but he is a merchant. That's what he said to you guys.
yeah.
Yeah, we technically as characters don't know that he's a alien, so to speak.
I don't know, I thought he was basically well-travelled, know-it-all type thing.
He's got agents out everywhere learning things. Yes.
He's well travelled and knowledgeable about current events and stuff, but not like all-knowing.
Well, you see, the gnomes may not know what it is, and so they may not have been able to tell Redrin what it is, and Redrin may not have seen what it is. So therefore the information has not been passed on yet.
Why do they have a child of unknown? I was about to
How
say
did they
child of
come by this
surprise.
child, for lack of better description?
Apparently they inherited it from their grandparents.
They inherited a child?
Yeah.
Is this an egg?
No.
Better not be one of those doll things. Those are freaky.
Doll things?
You've got dolls?
Dolls? What dolls?
No, those animated doll things.
No, no, it's a living child.
Oh, thank goodness. I was about to ask that question.
It's a living child. No, we're returning a dead child to unknown parents of unknown origin. That would be
I'm
so
sure that would go down well.
unspecific. No, nobody can tell what it is because we didn't open the box.
Oh look, it's Schrodinger's child.
It's neither dead nor alive until we open the box, but there's a smell. It's neither dead nor alive until we open the box.
That is sad. Very, very, very sad.
And when we shake it, nothing happens.
So
But it's neither dead nor
I guess
alive.
this decision comes down to Yodri.
Very happy babies.
Sure.
What, with the dragon?
I'm a halfling. We do have large families.
Okay, Zal doesn't know much about halfling culture, so, fair enough.
Okay, so we'll let them know they'll have the child here within the next day or two.
Okay.
And then they will have one of their priests modify your curse
Okay.
and link you to the child.
Okay. That's not creepy at all.
Well, that's okay. It just means if anything happens to the child, then he will have failed his curse.
Yes. Which
Okay with that.
presumably means, like, if basically the child dies or the child comes to harm, it's also reflected on him? Or
Yep.
solely reflected on him?
Solely reflected on him.
So would we all have to take good care of him?
Yeah. Look at we've got like
Or
5 people in this party
them.
who are healing spells to some degree.
Okay, so and he says that he is looking into something that you can do. It looks like it's going to be in the desert at the moment.
The desert. Okay.
So prepare for desert travel.
Okay.
And he will have the further details for you when he gets the child here. So that
lots
way-
of dried rations, lots of
And
How is this continent's a desert?
that can help with water?
he says that's on the other side of the mountain ranges to the
well, it's not it's
east,
not precipitation.
between
There's fresh water
Thyatus
and
and
there's also
the northern
purified
reaches and the
food
dwarves.
drink.
The desert of Yelera.
Is there an item that can create
There is also a
water?
desert, he says, pointing to the west across the Great Lake,
It's just expensive.
called the Sin Desert. But this one is in Yelera.
It's in where?
Yelera.
You live.
Yelera. Yelari Desert is the easier way to say it. I can never pronounce the other one too well.
Sorry. Oh! Yularum.
Yeah, I'm terrible at pronouncing things.
So, your horse doesn't have a name, does it?
It does.
Well, I don't know.
You're okay, it's now I've been through the desert with an axe pick with no name.
Oh, here's a name.
I have 2 horses and an axe beak.
Yeah, but, okay. What did you call your axe pick other than axe pick?
That was Chocobo.
He's choking it.
Okay.
Because it's a big bird with feathers.
The axe beak is literally called axe beak, but in a different setting.
Chocobo.
Yeah, but so named it Chocobo because, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're not that bloody violent.
No, they're not violent, but that's what makes it funny.
Look at this cute little name.
Ah, yeah.
Chocobo, I choose you.
It already has. For many people.
Okay, so...
And that's why it's hilarious. Yes.
So is that where you go outside and go, water, water, you're out here, water, and then your horse shows up?
No, that's Inferno.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his
Aqua!
or aqua. Close enough.
Yeah, I can sell
Because
that.
they're opposites. A fire horse called Aqua and an ice horse called
No,
Inferno.
it's water.
Oh, it is water? Oh, okay. I thought it was ice.
It is watery. He drips all the time.
Is it a water element?
Oh, so that solves our water problem.
Yes, except the problem is after it's dripped, it doesn't stay.
Oh.
It's like the fire doesn't constantly heat or burn things.
So is there like an item on your jug or a water bag or something that we can get that's enchanted that will give us water? if we
There is
want
a decanter of endless water.
But how much does
it? Is
that
it
cost?
achievable?
We might have to pull our resources for that.
Okay. Magical items.
We have a fair bit of money between us. I think I've got like $3 grand sitting there.
And I've got 2.
I should have 4. I haven't tallied up my gold in a while, so.
So a decanter of endless water is not too expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It would set you back between 100 and 600 gold pieces.
We might buy a couple of them.
I think we buy at least one each.
You'd only need one.
In case we lose one.
That could happen.
So how much sorry did you say it was?
Between 1 and 600. It's normally 1d6 by 100.
So I dare say we should go out and find one of those.
Well, presumably the magic shop would have those with the beholder creature
Well,
eye.
he said the gnomes aren't coming for a day or two, so that gives us time to go and get hold of one.
But what else would we need apart from like an endless supply of water, food rations,
With gear.
and yeah,
Which mounts can we take to the desert?
That's not a problem.
horses, normal horses, and presumably the Axie would be okay.
I talked to Grindelwalker and asked Grindelwalker whether he wants to stay in the city
The
with
Axebeaks
the
are
other
helpful.
gnomes here rather than go into the desert.
Well, he's happy to do some research here
Depends on
for
what
you.
type of desert it is.
That would be appreciated, and that would
Might
also
actually
save
be left in the
Paul the
city
Grindelwalker
alone.
having a run through the desert. I'd like to save him that.
Okay, do you know
So
what,
I make arrangements for him to stay at
What
home.
you mean is, what city when you come back?
Yeah, what city?
what type of desert is it? A rocky desert or sandy desert or?
He says he's not sure, he's never been there, but he does know that it has many different types of terrain.
Where are we supposed to be taking this child of unknown origin, or don't we know that quite yet?
We don't know
That's
that
the
yet.
problem,
We're
the
taking
gnomes
child
don't
to
know.
unknown origin.
We are going to the Yalaruan Desert. So, Y-L-A-R-U-A-N. Y-L-A-R-U-A-N.
You see, look, it actually has Arabian style look.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we hopefully horses will be able to. I don't know that you want to take your poor polar bear to the desert.
Yeah, is there like a specialist boots I can get for the Axie so he doesn't get
Pardon?
Good shade. I don't.
I'm gonna shave
Quite
the
possibly,
bear.
but whether or not he'll keep them on remains to be seen.
But if he wants to, I'll do it for him.
No, it doesn't.
Could you not stable him and save him from having to go through the desert?
You're aware what happens when you separate from me, right? I get turned into a different race.
That happens even if he is nearby.
Actually, the bear gets depressed. We should ask the bear what he wants to do.
Go ahead.
Maybe if you
I'm
can,
not gonna have part of this.
maybe if
I'm
you
gonna
could
stand in the corner and
shrink him down into
It's your bear.
cat
Welcome to
size.
my life.
So you mean you were going to break up the band?
I'm not gonna break up the band, I'm just gonna go into the corner and sulk for now.
I know that they're the band that rides the polar bear.
I think you're,
Oh, that's
I
right,
think
yeah.
as the bear's owner, as such, you should take responsibility and think seriously about whether you want to drag a polar bear into the
Hey,
desert.
listen, this party and being owners isn't going so well.
Don't worry, you're about to add a new mouth to feed.
Yeah, we might need provisions for the child as well.
God, yeah.
What? And how old the child is will determine whether or not we
Is it
need
because I
that.
look after cowbirds?
Yeah, she already takes care of me.
Yeah, exactly. You can pick up the slack.
So
I'm
take
not
the one
sharing
that's
her.
got an endless supply.
I'm not going to
She
have
takes care of you. You use me as a personal leader.
No,
She
their
was nowhere to be seen.
decanters
Well, sorry, he was
wouldn't
nowhere to be
be
seen.
alcohol.
No, you agreed to it.
Oh, well.
You agreed to it. We asked you. You said
That would
yes.
have kept the
You
child
would
in
have said
check.
no. You just chose not to. Yeah, he
I
gave up.
basically was like, sure.
Your
whatever.
apathy is not my problem. Yeah.
They got something like
Random yell from here. I'm trying to angst here.
No one cares.
Basically, was it blueberries?
From next year, we don't care.
Well, you do have a cleric. I'm sure you can ask them to do stuff like that.
Laugh hard, I'm gonna pass out.
Apparently you're feeding and watering the child as well now.
Exactly. See, Guardian.
I vote
Says
against
you're
that.
the guardian.
No, it was after something like that we actually could cast blueberries.
Power legs.
I'm against that. I already am being taken care of by the cleric she's taken. It'll have to be one of yous.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's
The kid will be very right
nature
to some
spell.
lightning.
Unfortunately, I don't have access to that.
But she can provide some nature spells, but she's not taking care of it.
Apparently you've been spoken for now.
Right, yep.
You're now an extension of
You get to
Calcrich.
do all the rest. She can supply the food, but
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
there are,
Basically, you're going to
if
be
there are dogs
casting
that changes
blueberries.
and chasing after,
Blueberries.
that's up to you.
So during this discussion, a fresh coffee cup was put beside you by Grindelwald. Pats you on the arm and walks off.
So Saul's probably like almost desperate enough to try the coffee at this point.
Grindelwald is working. You are the guardian.
It's caramel flavored.
Yeah, alright. Saul tries the coffee.
It's wonderful.
And you cry into it.
Yeah, it sounds alright.
Since my body's depressed. Jeez.
I'm not.
No, you basically have the equivalent of ADHD, okay? We're all just mentally broken at this stage.
Well, let's see. I can never have alcohol or drugs. I'm surprised that spices won't get me good.
Hey, I'm giving up my coffee gnome for however long we're doing this. I think we can all suck it up a little bit.
Okay, so you spend a couple of days of preparing for your trip to the desert. Able to gather a couple of basic supplies.
So what's that, that endless water thing called?
It's called a decanter of endless water. It's basically a magic potion that is not expendable.
And is it something similar to like food rations or like a pouch? Or do we have to just like buy enough dry rations?
I think you'd have to buy enough because I don't believe there is a basic pouch that gives you lots of food.
Do I need to roll a d6 to find out the cost of the decanter?
In general, they're about 400. So if you say 400, without actually role playing it, it's a lot easier. Otherwise, you might find yourself paying a lot more.
So how many, do we get what, like one each? Or
Yeah, I think
I'm
we
happy
get
to
at least one each.
spend 1, 2, 2.
Weighs 2 pounds. Okay, so you can produce steam, fountain, geyser.
If only you had a water genasi amongst you, you could get more power out of it.
we all look at Josh.
So if we can get something like the steak at the
Don't look at
end
me
of
like I will
roast and
evaporate your
introduce
decanter of water.
That's right. Cheval is more than a decanter of water.
Well, he's your
He's
personal
also
healer.
And he's a beacon of light.
to the paladin.
So, nightlight. Hey, Cheval, come over here. Why? I want to read something.
Nighttime.
I wanna
So we
read
can
my-
actually have water floats with this thing.
Yes, you can.
You started it.
Yeah, pointed at each other and
Except for the fact that Cheval can still force people away harder than anyone else can, being a genasi. You can increase the TC by 2.
The
Right.
TC?
The difficulty check to not push people over.
Oh, DC.
yeah, because there's an option where you can actually point at
So you can have water fights.
Oh. That sounds like fun.
There's a D4 bludgeoning damage.
And especially considering you
Oh,
got,
that doesn't sound like
especially
fun.
because you got someone now who's a fire elemental. Water fight with the fire person would just be bad on them. You might put him out.
I don't imagine he'd enjoy it. She'd
really
enjoy it.
don't see that happening, but you know what it was.
I mean, we did like run through the tropics. Very not happy.
Okay.
Well, no.
So basically it'd be a bag of holding with dried rations.
Yeah. How much is a bag of holding?
Bag of holding would
I've
probably
got
also
one.
be about 400.
I have mine already.
You know, jar of dirt.
I'm the only one who can get away with that. because I am actually a pirate. So I'll have a jar of it.
So you want a jar of just dirt?
Actually, there's something inside. So you have to guess what's inside.
Just gonna point out just dirt as the brand.
Yeah, Stefan knows me too well.
Okay.
Oh,
dirt to you.
What is a jar of, why is a jar of dirt helpful to a pirate?
Ask the pirate, he's the one who asked for it.
Have you watched Pirates of the Caribbean?
I had, but a very long time ago on my
I
back.
got a
I-
jar.
I've got
I
a-
got a jar of dirt.
That was-
Right, and what was the significance of
Inside
It's a
at the
joke.
time, it was supposed to have the heart of the pirate. David Jones.
Davy
Which also confused the crap out of everybody else except for Johnny Depp, because he totally improvised that scene.
Okay.
I guess what's
Interesting
inside
because
it.
the law that if you keep some soil from your homeland, you'll eventually be alive to return it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we're
knew there was
going.
some sort of law, but I didn't know what the law was exactly.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, well then we have to go south.
Okay,
Okay.
so, a couple of days later, a contingent of gnomes show up.
Contingent.
Oh no! Oh, paperwork I should fill in.
And you spend 3 days with
I
Godric
need the
filling
adoption
out
papers, got it.
paperwork.
Yeah, I just.
This is your child now.
On the plus side, at least I studied all this. It would have taken longer if I didn't know about legal.
At least I can
And even with all the legal knowledge you have, you barely understand that you're taking responsibility for the child. There's just so many loopholes in here.
So I probably read over it with your drink
Should
because
it be the
I
other way around? There should be stuff that I can't actually go through.
Loopholes that cause trouble for you, not for loopholes that...
Randall,
Okay.
what law was this?
He did. He gave you a coffee and walked away, going, I don't want to do anything about this. He got a headache just looking at the paperwork.
I think if anything, Zal who also learned
Did
the
Randall waffle the D&D problem of a Canada?
Yeah, it's called strong coffee with no.
He's getting fresh air outside, away from the contingent of lawyer gnomes.
I mean, Paladin's restoration.
Give him
The,
some honeycomb
the reason
as
why
well.
he became a barista, he actually used to study law.
Okay, I give him some honeycomb as well, so he can have a bit of a sugar hit.
Okay, so yes, you're surrounded by a bunch of gnomish people asking you for more songs, and not stopping, even if you do sing, asking for more songs.
Well, since it's all gnomes, I'm happy to let the band take it away.
And the band's waiting for you to kick it off because you are the lead singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you go.
They are your support band.
They're probably working
no.
behind my back with the manager. So
No. No, you go. 1, 2, 3, drum solo! And then they'll just walk away.
Gnome solo.
In which case they then completely rip off all your songs.
Yeah, I guess that.
But yeah, it turns in from your song into the covers, just slides through.
If I was a dwarf, a diggy dwarf.
You said you haven't gone to the gold song.
Well, you sing by gnomes.
Go away, it's here to stay. Here to stay, here to stay.
Our singer is gone. She has gone away.
We are here to stay without a singer. Oh, please singer, let us here to
What about
stay.
the attractions? We're gonna be here for like goodness knows how long with cushion while we're in the desert.
The desert with no name.
What?
The desert with no name.
Yeah, the desert with no name. Speaking of which, where the hell did my donkey go?
You can't remember, can you?
No.
Give me a memory check.
Make
I
your
think
son
it was at
dragon.
your place.
No, we got all the animals from our place.
Last time I remember the donkey was in the Landry somewhere.
Yeah, he was at
Eaten by the axe man.
No.
One of the few creatures the XP couldn't intimidate. Because the donkey just didn't care.
When we picked up Artemis and what's my wolf's name?
What's the memory trait? Wisdom?
Yep. Intelligence actually.
We picked up all the animals because that included all of Camdu's horses, my 2 horses, like we took all of
It's history, maybe?
Just intelligence bonus.
Okay, so then it's just 13.
13. Okay. Last time you remember the donkey was when you were on the gnomish airship and you met Cushion again.
Oh, that's right.
You're being picked up with the donkey. You haven't been paying any attention because, well, the elf never had the donkey.
The donkey and cushion.
Yeah.
When Surfer changes.
The donkey's with the other animals because you haven't cared about the donkey since you became an elf.
Yeah, that's true.
I care about the donkey.
You didn't even know the donkey. I'm gonna name the donkey Eo.
I spent time boarding animals
Oh,
in
it's
the stable.
me.
Did
My owner has left me.
My owner's turned into
I
an
love
elf.
animals. I spend all my time with them. I play the act big all the time.
Let me just sit on the edge of this cliff.
And just contemplate existence and ending.
You think pray to their god for your polar bear?
My polar bear.
You for me.
No, I prayed to my god because your polar bear was sad. And I asked the polar bear what I could do, and the polar bear said bring his mistress back. So I talked to my god and said, can you organise that please? The bear is
By the way,
sad.
you're having greedy yourself with a polar bear.
You can twitch as much as you like.
Excellent.
You get that freely.
My eye is twitching very rapidly right now since I'm trying not to be overly angst.
Best time to
Don't do me,
sing.
you can't be.
You're now prepped for singing.
Corporate
The
coverage.
most angsty you can get is Hannah Montana, okay?
These are going to dissolve any minute now.
They'll then drink.
Stop jokes for 2 seconds.
And 2.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. That's not fair. I call you a mother, monster.
Hey, if there's one thing that we learned from the game of life, it's not fair. Some dickhead has beat you to the finish line, taken me and now we can say, and has 5 kids.
So yes, you
know,
have 3
yeah.
days of going through paperwork. Your hands cramped by the end of it with all the
You
signing.
know, all
you've
your
done.
shit's been stolen by Sephiroth.
Yeah, I have uni magic, not RSI magic, sorry.
More than likely.
And then they bring you a small little kid wrapped in a cloak.
What kind of
Ears
kid can we
sticking
tell?
out.
What?
Ears sticking out either side.
A kid?
As an elven ears?
Well, they're longer than all it is.
No, it's Bugs.
No.
It's Goku.
It's anime elves.
Goku?
Next thing you hear is, what the fuck?
Yoda!
Identity check?
Sure. Identity check.
I believe you as Zal.
Child, where is your passport? I need to confirm who you are.
Are you looking for your dice bag? Because it's in front of you.
No, I'm looking at my iPad, which has my character
Yeah,
sheet.
I was gonna say, you don't have stuff.
What is the kid's name?
Just never knew.
We give it.
We've been through the desert with a child with no name. Got it now.
No name they know of.
They've had this child for how long and they haven't given the child a name?
500 years.
What? Does the child show any sentience at all? Like, does it show that it knows what's going on?
I am good.
Sentience, yes. No idea what it's thinking.
Can
It's
you
doing.
give
history,
us,
nature,
like, in more detail
Isn't it? Wouldn't it be identified?
description, or is that not known until we identify it?
Well, they've only just brought the child and now you're asking this over the child while the
Okay,
child's
so I
there.
need to wait.
You need to wait, yes.
Oh, take
It's
custody
minor
of the child.
So I'm getting multiple things, one at a time, please.
Identifying child.
The identifying child, yeah. What did you...
Is that investigation or insight?
More likely nature.
Nature.
Mm.
Okay.
Whoa.
Sure, that's on Ironheim.
Yes, it is.
Reinforces your awesomeness.
So
Well,
it's mine,
Well, it's Ironheim as well.
Technically.
Still is technically.
technically. Very slim technicality.
So does that mean you're less awesome?
No, it means I'm less raw.
Well, he's formerly known as Ironheim.
Formerly known as.
Because technically we're brothers, sisters, I don't know.
Former roommates.
Former roommates, ex-lovers, you get
Was she
confused
not a
after
he
that.
dwarf?
Yes.
How the hell are you siblings?
Magic.
We don't know yet.
Magic.
We still haven't worked that part out.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing is, he's very mendable of shape changing, so he's probably polymorphed as a human. Or
Listen.
none of them might have been polymorphed as a human.
The roots of the tree don't need to be explained, okay?
Fair enough.
Technically, I'm probably more likely a descendant of dwarves at some point
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
him being descended of human.
Magic
Fair
messes
enough.
with many things.
But we don't know because we haven't worked that out. And
Okay.
in our little book, which also apparently linked by
Well-
uncle, which was found out. So
Don't
I'm not
worry.
sure how you can be brother and sister.
What do you don't
though, if
understand
have
then?
the same one parent.
Oh, more related, but I'm just like...
Oh, like cousins or something.
Yeah, so in terms of making it simple, brother, sister, whatever.
Our family tree was actually connect the dots driven from by a 3-year-old. Okay?
Yeah.
You've gone from 1 to like 15 back to...
Fair enough.
22 is that roll, by the way.
Okay, looking at it, it does look rather goblinish.
Oh!
Just not like any goblin you've ever seen.
It's
That's
clean.
500.
Does it
No, it's also
speak?
500 years old. So.
And it looks like it's probably about in its equivalent of a 4-year-old.
Does it speak?
No.
This is gonna be interesting.
We asked the gnomes if they happen to know a gender.
No.
Surely they've changed diapers or something over the years.
Well, some have, but they don't speak of that.
Okay. I guess we'll find out.
It's no longer their problem. They're happy. They just use
Yeah,
magic.
the adoption.
Precipitation.
Does it have a belly button?
Don't know.
Can I check?
Cool.
I'm sure you can.
Yes,
you just
I
gotta
have
take its clothes off.
precipitation.
I just want to lift its top to see if there's a belly button.
It's got a cloak on and clothes, and you gotta.
Oh, I can't just go whoop and give it a raspberry.
You can do it.
Is that any
You don't raspberry babies' tummies
You
here?
don't know.
We do under.
There are lots of clauses. Give me a memory test.
I thought raspberry babies' tummies was fun. They liked it.
Yeah, no, again,
Not-
we don't know where this thing has come from.
Not
That's
some
intelligent,
500-year-old
isn't it?
baby of unknown origin.
Okay. Fine, I don't raspberry its tummy. I thought that was a
So
social etiquette.
did they actually legitimately make the out of 500 years?
Have you never raspberry
This one
baby's tummy to make
has
it
this
tickle?
one has grown older
Wait,
in
so
500
I'm like-
years. Yes.
If Calvin said about raspberry in my tummy, I'm just like, no.
No,
They know it
baby.
exact
That's a
age.
lot.
Older than 500.
Maybe.
Yeah, 19.
I've made many a baby laugh when I was doing this belly.
Babe.
Basically, you're responsible for its well-being, its education.
I mean, I'm not raspberrying strange
It's
babies. at
basically
work.
existence
No,
until it
I'm
finds
just
its
talking about
family,
strange things.
or you die of old age.
This is in circumstances where I have had some sort of connection to this.
Surprisingly enough, even babies that I've got relationships with, no.
Okay, really? Okay.
I do the tickles.
If you're
Yeah,
crying
I
a
do.
lot and you can't stop them from crying, try raspberry in their belly. It makes them laugh like nothing else.
So,
And it sounds so cute.
I do the
so
tickles
on
instead.
upon my death,
I've got gentle fingers.
whoever picks up the child then becomes the one then now responsible?
No, you're also responsible for deeding the responsibility onto someone else after your death. Unless, of course, you're brought back, in which case you then resume responsibility for the child.
That's good.
Does that mean you technically could be immortal?
Someone has to bring him back.
No, we would have to resurrect him and none of us know that's like...
Would
And
you
so
rather
who do
die
you
in a
specify
separate
as your next of kin to look after the child if you die?
If that's his next kid.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Stop pointing at me!
I'm pointing at sugar.
Because they have to sign the document as well.
If we show Belle's gonna be one righteous baby.
You're
Yeah.
not touching it.
Yes!
Nicely done. So I'm guessing it belongs to chauffeur now.
No, that's even better.
My baby's gonna be so confused when it grows up as well, okay?
You're not touching it. On their own. I know exactly where it can go.
Rodrian?
Or 60 under. No.
So who do you get to sign as the...
Unfortunately, the next of kin isn't here, so I'll have to do it at
Oh, you're gonna hit off the cam, dude?
You have to get someone here to sign it, they say.
Here.
Yeah.
How the hell am I going to get one of my relatives here? Yeah, they won't sign for it. Yeah.
Well, everyone else is basically called not dibs.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
a 6-year-old dragon. Who wants to give me guardianship
For
of
a
a child?
child. No, I know.
Unless you want to talk
you
right
have
up
the,
with
no, you have the
hail,
advantage.
fire, and
You know, you have
I
the
don't mind.
you have the advantage that you're long lived.
But I'm a
One righteous
6-year-old
one.
child. I can't even parent myself.
Technically, you can parrot yourself.
Can I?
Yes. From...
Well,
I told you quite a few times
you said
from...
adolescent.
You're an adolescent dragon, but from hatching you have language skills, ability to kill.
I'm
You
capable
are
of being
intelligent.
responsible for a child, though, even though I've never cared for a child.
That's completely up to you. You may not be, human responsible, but you would be capable of looking after. You looked after Grindelwafel.
I go over to the child and say hello. What does the child do?
Child just hugs you.
I sign the document.
Oh god.
So do you ask the dragon? Okay, so
due to the fact that she's the only one who can probably live long enough for it.
The baby hugged me back. Why would I not sign it? Oh.
I really wish you put the baby down and whoever just walked to you first was going to be...
Do that. That would be fun, because Martin might roll for that. And that would be so funny.
so it is about a quarter his size.
So I can skip
Looks like it's like a 4-year-old.
Just gonna point it
Looks like a size of a 4-year-old halfling.
I may be nasty when we're playing spin the child, even I think it's cool.
Well, hey, look, if you spin this child enough, you have the equivalent of the vomiting child.
The child is choosing the one that is actually most trust.
Yeah.
But
Let's find out who the child trusts.
It's
So you play spin the child.
Yes!
No, not spin the child.
I'll put the child down while I get the backpack ready.
Okay.
And see if the child gravitates towards anyone in particular.
Okay. You want it under the middle of the table.
Sorry?
The table's responsible for now.
Okay, table, you sign the documents.
And then Nick gets up and signs.
Mimic eats a shot. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, not our problem. Next
Your true guys.
Yeah, that's one way to end the campaign.
If no one else wants to take responsibility for the child, I'll take responsibility for the child.
And that's only in the event of your Drew dying.
Backpack ready.
Oh, ow. But I still would have thought it was hilarious if you rolled and it ended up being one of
Plus
the
side.
people.
I have no pride. Harry.
Okay, so comes out of the table and is pulling on Chopper's leg.
There it is.
Just stare at the child. What?
I was looking at you expectantly, yanking on your leg.
What do you want? See.
Yanks on your leg again.
You realize
Staring at
that
you.
apart from Flavio, Vicky, you're the token female of the group, right?
I have 9 dwarves, a cushioned polar bear, and a donkey somewhere to care about. And now you want me to care about this thing?
No. I think he wants me.
I point to Calvin. I'm like, you're gonna have a half of it, buddy.
I point to myself. With my wing. So there's 4 points.
Hey, listen you. Okay, you may have a fucking armada to take care of. I've got a cameo that wanders off everywhere. I've basically given up on that.
Okay, so we've sorted out the paperwork,
No.
haven't
The Ethengarian head cheese might take your head eventually.
He's not gonna find out.
I was about to say, Cam's perfectly fine at this stage. Every time she comes back, she's got heads on pikes.
And then in return, Sam, you return home and she's been there for a couple of years. It's like,
Exactly.
whoops. Were you supposed to be guarding her? She's fine.
She's not dead yet. She probably has a pile of men out the back, so you know whatever.
When it comes to me guarding things, we all know my reputation about
Well, you know your main job with Camdo is shovel duty. You've got to bury the evidence.
Yeah, that's
What
why.
evidence she's
I
done
was gonna
somewhere else
say,
I don't know about.
That's why
It's a fire Denari, isn't it like a pile of ash?
Again, the bodies probably haven't been burned because I have no idea where they are.
What are you rolling for?
See how he's responding to the child.
Oh,
So you're responding to the angst?
Yes, I'm using the angst force. I mean,
Okay, so you break out into song.
yeah.
What song do you break out into?
Go away.
Leave me alone.
Why me?
Why me?
Okay, so
What about me?
it isn't fair.
and you
I turned into you last night.
your Nomish band outside just picks up perfectly with the tune and plays with it. They've got a new hit song going. As the whole in vibrates, and when it stops, there's clapping outside.
Groan and take a bow.
And the little child, as you bow, gives you a hug from the neck.
I guess I'll pick up the child.
So, Is Shoka taking secondary responsibility for the child then?
No,
Rather than
you
me?
signed it.
Whatever, I do like the simultaneous.
Child seems to like Shoka.
I think you bounced up happy before anyone could stop you.
No,
Sign the paperwork.
I said I would if nobody else would.
Well, you want your backpack all ready for it? So does it actually
Oh,
that's how
understand
you
common,
knew.
or
Kind of things on to
Yeah.
everyone.
It seems to understand, but
I think it just adds.
they're not able to get any
Shonen
words
Noel
out of
is
it.
angsty in himself, so...
I tried.
Shannon Knoll didn't write that song.
It doesn't seem to
The
right.
cover.
Does it
Shannon Knoll covers
anything?
that song by
Does
the
it,
Garble?
people.
Non-translatable garble.
I can't remember the original.
so
So
like,
what?
does
So
it-
comprehend doesn't make doesn't work.
I don't know my phone. Yes, he does make it more angsty, but he's not the original.
And they haven't tried to teach it any language in Bangladesh.
Well, no, they've been trying to teach it. But have you ever tried to teach a 4-year-old?
No.
You're gonna learn, they say. They pat you on the shoulder. Congratulations, you're one of the new teachers.
Fantastic. Given that I'm one of the few in this party
Reading
that was like
digits.
7.
That's it.
Actually, you probably come the close second, actually.
What?
Amount of languages.
If I speak to the government
Yeah.
child in Elvish,
Mhm.
One,
Seems to understand.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Seems to understand.
they age you.
Seems to understand.
I'll ask the child how many languages it knows,
He just looks at you.
and I'll speak all the fingers.
He bites with your fingers.
I
It's got sharp teeth.
Yes, it does.
What did you say?
I try saying hello in various languages that I know and see.
Well, it looks at you for everything you say.
Oh, okay. But does that just because I'm making noise, or does it
Yes.
actually like?
Probably. Who knows?
I talk
Is there a way to
nonsense.
distinguish?
You talk nonsense at it?
Yeah.
It looks at you too.
Okay.
I start talking nonsense more and more excitedly.
Yeah, it is perk up.
Oh god.
Do you remember these goblins have, like, no intelligence?
So this child you say you've had for 500 years,
It's not
Yeah.
a goblin.
does it drink coffee?
No.
No, we're not giving the child coffee.
Hey,
But
we're all have some drugs.
but
It's 500 years old!
but it's able to take
The
rum.
equivalent age of 4!
Yeah, so it's like Sofa's what 70 elfish years? An equivalent of
130
oh, are you? Oh, okay. Well, then, but you're an equivalent of
I'm still a teenager.
yeah, but you're equivalent of like a 14-year-old.
Come on, who did not expect me to ask you to drink coffee? Who's surprised here?
No, but I'm just like, I'm just...
Yeah, Zal's a little surprised as well. Like, to be honest.
I can offer everybody coffee just like I hug everybody.
Listen,
Yeah, but like child's. I don't understand what a child is.
Well, to a dragon, a newborn dragon is perfectly capable in its own right.
Exactly. Okay, normal children don't drink coffee.
What do you mean by normal? This does not look like a human child.
Most races are capable of.
doing drugs at the age
Yeah,
of 4.
doing drugs.
What do you mean by drugs?
Coffee is technically
Psychotic.
It's one of the goblin shutters. One of the
It makes
gnome
you feel-
shutters
yes.
as well. Anything and everything.
Coffee is a fruit
Okay.
bean.
Okay. Do you
Coffee
want...
is a berry.
Do
It's
you...
a roasted
Do
berry.
you want the small thing over there acting like I'd like to chocolate?
I like playing a chocobo.
I'm gonna get out my
So when
drum.
Chocobo, you remember when Chocobo has coffee
So,
and how that wasn't good?
what's food not good?
The honey fruit.
Or probably nothing too sugary or stimulant based
I'm gonna
because
sing you a tale.
bad things happen.
This tale is
And nothing you really want to clean up afterwards because the smell can be horrible.
A song of what?
And to keep it out of sunlight, do
Songs
not clean it
about
up till
coffee beans
midnight.
and fig.
And don't bathe it.
And how it's a bad
Well, we use
idea.
precipitation a
You
lot
mix
because it
fig.
means we keep
Alright,
up
I
with it.
know that.
I understand the axe speak wasn't good. You don't have to go too far into the song.
with the child thing, so it's goblinoid in its appearance, but it's 500 or more years old, which goes against everything we know about goblinoids.
And you can understand the no problem with fighting his parents.
And
The history of most of it was lost during the Elf Wars between Darkin and Elfheim.
Right.
It was after then that it turned up on the Gnomish doorsteps, which they've been looking after since then.
what up in the middle of the
No,
mountain?
in the region that you're in now. The Darkin and the Elves were at war 500 years ago.
This is before my elven time.
So is it a goblin baby, goblin elf hybrid or something?
Elves age faster than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so which is why it's weird, because it goes against every
We wouldn't make this
known
difference.
thing that, well, every known race that we can
I
think
mean, we wasn't.
Gnomes have spent 500 years researching and still not come up with anything.
Go down to the divine path.
Well, asking the gods.
So what most closely resembles out of that, if you were to scroll down?
I think it's more
Like me making out with Chocobo.
might be like
I'm not sure. I don't want to spend a lot of time looking. Sorry.
Nothing.
So it's not like that though.
I can't really describe it properly right now.
Okay.
So we're talking about like family trees and stuff.
Just trying to
and how
visualize.
things get confusing about how you two are related.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of a human making out with a tree. It's like the equivalent of me making out with Chocobo.
But that just sounds so degrading, doesn't it? I'm gonna go make a cell. I'm gonna go make out with your chocobo. What?
I'm gonna go make a Groot.
Well, that's why I said, logically speaking, it makes more sense for me to be descendant of dwarves than for the dwarf to be descendant of humans.
A human can be turned into a dwarf, and then you can be descendant of the.
Yeah, but as I said, we still haven't figured out that
Yeah,
whole lineage
I know.
thing yet. So, and we've been working on it for like what, 5 years now?
These things aren't easy to track down.
It does look like David Bowie from
Yeah, he doesn't
No, it doesn't look like David Bowie.
okay.
Bowie.
doesn't
He
have.
gets David Bowie cool.
Family members or extended family
Goblin
members
King
have
for sure.
arms
Yeah.
everywhere.
He's not the Goblin
Like
King.
I said, the family
He
tree
could be
that
the
connected
Goblin
us being
King.
absolutely going great.
So he's gonna have what is it?
It was meant to be a nice
Four crystal
small
balls
redwood.
running with
It turned into a shrubbery.
Alright.
I feel like
Okay, so
of those balls off the top.
diagram and some elves in their
I'm
family
sure he
background
dropped quite a few of them.
In the end,
That's
that's
a
not
diagram where it goes
easy.
1, 13, 7, 12.
they have a hand specialist.
Yeah, because he
And
could.
someone has literally comments like, nice drawing, Jimmy, that's our family tree.
Yep, Goblin gets being
Are
handed
we
over.
given any information in addition to what you've just said?
It's all in the paperwork. He has about 4 piles yay high of paperwork.
Does that paperwork come with a bag of holding?
No. I know. Just like you didn't pay for that part.
Actually, that would probably be
So we might need to read through all of that at some point?
You did.
I have. I just need.
That's took him 3 days.
Okay, but if we're to help him as a party, we might all want to...
Zell tried.
Zal tried, but
No,
probably a little bit.
No, what you need to do is get Griddlewaffle to basically explain to you.
So
Because I don't think you're going to be able to read.
It'll probably take him a few weeks reading through it to figure it out.
but basically the highlight, the child is over 500 years old. It turned up after the Gnomish and Elven Wars.
Well, the
He was
human and Elvish wars.
Oh, human and Elvish, right, sorry. Human and Elvish wars in this area around the time.
Gnomes and dwarves do. Just keep out of their way.
Well, that sort of level of war was harming everything and everyone. So dwarves, elves, gnomes, everyone was caught in the war.
So this is now the 500-year itch.
It's called the Elf Wars.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's the 500-year itch because it's, let's see, you've got 2 countries flexing themselves and to get at each other they have to go through other countries.
And he looked to be about maybe 1 or 2 years old around that age. So he's aged about 3 to 4 years in 500 years.
Maybe.
Do you want to have a light on?
No, it's just.
birthday, Ron.
Like I said, working 11 out of the past 12 days. I'm very much stressed.
Technically, that's your fault because the way the roster's going with your leave, but... I said technically.
I went down to the coast for your birthday and our 1-year engagement anniversary. Thank you.
I know.
And I'm willing to accept the consequences from that, but...
That's why I said technically, because they did your roster rather than giving you time annual leave. They made it so it was just your ADOs, which saves your annual leave.
Which is good because you can then use that for when you want to.
But yeah, it just means it just
I have 400 hours of
it just means it's had 2 5-day weeks. So
So if you think about this, that's actually almost coming up to 2 months of that. 50 days.
they will force you on leave eventually.
They will.
Now the boys
They'll have those ages.
I think you get up to it's like
Oh,
a
let me
month
start
of leave and maybe
test this new resin.
Oh no, sorry.
I'm
They
well
had
beyond
No, sorry, it's
Free.
2 months.
20 at the
I'm well beyond.
It's 2 months. If
They had
you're over
50
2
at
months
$11
without a valid
And
leave,
100
at $22.
You're right.
Which normally
Is that
they
wrong?
normally sell like
I was able
it's
to
got
take
pretty
4.5 months of
And
leave.
of course everybody
if
wants
they
to
know
get on
that you're going to
And
take it.
it's like
So someone at my work did that.
Okay.
So they had planned this huge holiday,
Mm.
and they said, "I'm going to be
yeah, I'm
sick
having to go for the $22 one.
for this," which is cool. And they showed all the paperwork.
Okay,
I could
so
get called off my whole.
after all that, Redrian tells you that there is a site in the deserts in Yularum that apparently have a ancient structure, a pyramid of some sort, where there's rumored to have some lost cults there.
Well, the kind of risk
Cults or cultures?
Cults.
Okay, so proper.
Belief systems that are no longer in practice.
So basically
All
something
hail the
was
Venus
like that
flytrap.
calamari thing from yesterday. Well, a couple of days ago.
Quite possibly, he says. So
So
he,
man, are we going to Redfern at the moment? or-
yeah.
Yeah.
So he'd like to send you off to investigate that further. He doesn't really have anyone else in the area who can. Most of the others have gone elsewhere. But he can tell you that they have got a few people investigating a world beneath our feet called the Hollow World.
We met someone who talked about that.
It's a squid thing.
No, not the squid thing. The dragonborn.
Hmm. Drezel.
Drezel. That's it. Thank you. We met Drezel, but he looked vastly different from the last time we saw him. And he was spouting some weird nonsense about Mildred having one eye, but you know.
That's very
Well,
No,
he
it's
did
not.
have.
Put eye patch on.
I did talk to him and he said, I'll know when things have gone bad when when Yodri loses an eye.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And he blamed and he blamed a shape-changing dwarf for it.
We all kind of look at Sofa.
Who does it with rune magic.
We're still looking at Sofa.
And apparently Drezel has this beef with this rune mage. Apparently if they meet they go to war with each other.
Probably not.
Because apparently they have met and fought.
Okay, that's sounding less like Sofa and more like your vampire mother, but okay.
Got your mum's a room mage, isn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's also a vampire. So sad.
It's
We don't talk about that.
After I blew the ancestral home, we weren't on good terms.
Yeah.
Well, no, you were on better terms because you broke the magical seal.
That's something still on our wish list of things to fix that we fucked up.
Right, now I'm on their Christmas card.
Yeah.
So you basically integrated them by allowing them to return home. Because the elven, the relic you broke stopped them from returning home.
Yeah. Where are you, buddy?
Because it stops
Run
them
away.
dead. So, and also, Drezel had a gift for you apparently.
Oh, he has a gift for us?
Yeah, well for you.
Oh, for me?
Says you might need it.
Okay.
So he hands you a package.
Does this need to be opened in private, or is this something that everyone can see?
It's completely up to you. He says he got no instructions from Gretel. Apparently he says you'll know when to open it.
I'll know when to open it?
He says you opened it at the appropriate time.
I guess I'll leave it packaged and put it in my...
I give her a puppy dog eyes. I want to know!
I'm conflicted right now.
I want to know what that is.
The best thing about people with time travel is they make self-fulfilling prophecies. So whenever you open it is the appropriate time, no matter when you wait till.
I'm going to see Calcrich with puppy dog eyes. Is that with the...
You can make it a will saving throw. Wisdom saving throw.
Oh good, because that's somewhat reasonable about it. Here we go.
I'm trying to
6
think magic
plus
to it.
4, which is 10.
Not particularly good.
So some kind of just like halfway shoving it in his Calcrich is like... Oh.
Wait, what's this? What's the wisdom saving throw?
While Caltrix is studying the book, I'm now going through the papers and going, magic. Have they actually tried teaching?
Apparently, magic doesn't work on it. You can't. You can clean it, but because it's on the outside of the body.
Well, because I was about to say, didn't you just say you
What did you wisdom?
Because prestidigitation touches the outside, not the actual creature itself.
So the
Red Ring gave me a package from Drazzle.
So basically
And
they
he said I
can't lift
knew
up
how when to
the
open it
child
was
itself,
going to be over
they have to
5.
lift up the clothing.
And I started to put it away, and Calcrich with puppy dog eyes, I want to see what the parcel is that we got from
So
Drazzle,
what
because
is
like,
it?
everybody records it.
It
I
can't go through
pretty much
teleport.
failed
It
my
can't
wisdom saving throw on it, which is hilarious.
get into an extra dimensional space.
No, it's fine.
Myself and Ally get a bonus to a save throw into my charisma bonus, which is really positive.
Good thing it's not your package then.
Or
Otherwise I'd never know what it is.
magical experiment gone wrong.
He wants a fairy package.
Oh, he's up on the,
Okay, so do you open your package?
Oh, yeah, I give in to the dragon's little puppy dog eyes.
Eat the seeds. Oh, get rid of them.
I'm gonna be running upstairs my room.
Okay, so ripping open the package, there is what appears to be a handle of a sword. With note in Draconic. Fine script.
I don't know. That's one of the few things I don't know is
I know
Draconic.
Draconic.
Thought you learned Draconic.
No,
Can I read it?
I learned.
You can read it.
Oh, no, Draconic.
No, we did. We
No,
all
sorry,
learned
no, I
Draconic.
did Draconic. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I was thinking
She
of
knows
Abyssal.
Draconic, she can
Yeah.
talk to me.
Sorry, I was...
We were learning
I got
Draconic.
confused between that and Abyssal for
All
some
good.
reason.
So you look at it. It says for your darkest moment.
Okay. So it's a swordless, like, it's just like a hilt.
And it has this call out by the power of Ixion.
By the power of Ixion!
Sorry.
You know what you need to find? You need to find the broken shield now.
yeah. Okay.
Don't we have a broken spear already? Blood spear? Blood spear, not a broken spear. I stuck my nose close to the box, see that it's not food or coffee, and curl up at Sal's feet and take a nap.
Is there any jewels in the hilt of the sword?
Are there any jewels?
The sword has some fine yellow diamonds in it.
I wake up again and have another
So,
look.
sorry, is that inscription on the hilt of
Nope, on the
No,
note.
that was
Oh, on the note.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much would that be worth?
And he said by the power of Ixion.
Yep.
I like Greyskull, but not.
No, I know, that's what he's just referencing. I know exactly what he's referencing.
It looks like it
Yeah,
looks like a
maybe
very
not.
nice antique sword. It's a style that hasn't been done for probably close to 1,000 years or more.
For some reason, I'm not surprised.
And
That's the last of what
it's
he said
the
by the
diamond
power of
itself.
Ixion.
A cut you're not used to seeing. It's not something that's common.
Okay.
Murdered
That would
for
be
it.
pretty cool.
Probably, it'd probably be worth just by itself, even if it wasn't magical, maybe about 500-600 gold.
Don't show that sword out in public.
So does it actually have like a sword bit, or is it just a hilt?
It's just a hill.
It's just a hilt. Okay.
And it's magic.
Yeah. No. I'm getting a mental picture of what I'm holding this hilt with.
Hilt seems to be made out of gold with yellow diamonds embedded in it.
Just for the diamond itself, that's like 500 gold, and then probably if it's magical, that's going to be even more. So I would show it in public.
I have detect magics. So is it magical?
10 minutes later.
Leave you wait 10 minutes and
I mean, like, honestly, I don't care if I wait 10 minutes because you guys are all doing your own thing, so... and the dragon got bored because I got killed.
and Shofa disappeared.
Yeah, the chauffeur disappeared, so I'm kind of sitting in the tavern reading this note from Dravel saying it will help you in your darkest
So
times.
the kid's not allergic to peanuts?
Okay, so looking at it, you see evocation and conjuration magic around it, and it is magical.
Evocation and what?
And conjuration.
That's actually orders as well.
It does it's a school of magic, if this is a school of magic.
Okay, well, look at the key.
Look at the what?
The key.
See if we can detect magic.
Protection from evil.
Okay, I spent another 10 minutes thinking the key is magical.
It's technically when you get the spell if it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So looking at Shofa, you basically see paladin.
Oh,
You sort of goes, even though you've seen it normally, but when you detect magic up, you're just getting it in your head.
Just getting in waves.
Yeah.
Oh god. So now go away for like 10 minutes, please.
you can't dispel magic on
I could dispel the magic of myself, but...
And then when you're having a look around, there's just this black spot where the kid is.
So you
Is it the same black spot that when like he was disintegrating the mattress, or is it different?
Different, because it doesn't seem to be some sort of, it's just like there's complete absence of magic in that spot.
Complete absence of magic.
Even rocks have some form of connection to the world of magic
Like,
here.
basically.
Okay. So
I didn't dispel the magic because I'm sick of hearing paladin
So,
in my
that
brain.
gives me, there's three options. Magic creation gone wrong,
I really don't.
divine, or not of this world.
I'm probably gonna go with like all three at this point because who fucking knows?
Just wondering, just if it just absorbs it, or is he just not there? Yeah, unfortunately, doing that will hurt some.
Okay, so I have a little sort of to help me in my darkest time by saying Manipara Elixir. The magic kid is basically devoid of magic. Anti-magic?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was also thinking that maybe for destroying the stones, he is.
And...
Do you want to destroy the stones?
I reckon that there's basically, unless we can find the rightful owners, whoever owns them is basically getting misfortune done to them.
So you guys,
I don't own the stones.
your party does. You said whoever owns them, you own them as a party.
That might give us our first clue though. I mean, did the goblins, not goblins, the gnomes give us their research notes before they found out?
Pretty much in the big pile of legalese. They wrote it in legalese for you.
Of course they did, which is why I had such trouble in the beginning. So probably by that point we then spend the next 3 days reading over it between us to try and get a better idea. Do they know it's like anti-magic or no magic?
Well, they know their magic doesn't work on it. No, they can't divine anything about their child.
Yeah, but I presume like they started with basics like detect that and was like, oh, it's black or void in the space of light.
The child, in the notes it shows, the child shows high levels of intelligence, just not ability to communicate.
Yeah. And then 500 years still hasn't been able to speak a word.
The other thing is, Mickey doesn't work too.
That's true. Did they keep it in like a clinical thing, or did they let this kid sort of out
This is
the
nice. I would have kept it all locked up in other things.
Well, they had it in one of the gnomish orphanages.
Yeah, locked up.
Yeah, okay. So
In
that
the
prob-
child wing.
So that probably explains a lot.
They treated it like the age it looked.
Right. Whereas we probably aren't, because we're a hot mess of people.
Literally hot mess.
Okay, so both of you, while reading the papers, get to make a perception roll. Well, they basically she asked you to leave the room for a while, so
Yeah.
you didn't have to watch after the child.
14? Probably not enough.
No, I'm going. I'm thirsty.
What did you get?
I got a 6.
Okay, so the paperwork is very absorbing for you. And what you notice is the child seems to be stripping metal off spoons and forks and with its teeth.
So it's like eating like goblin.
Well, you're not exactly sure what it's doing.
I'm not there.
No.
I kind of peel myself off the paperwork because it's boring as batshit, even though it's somewhat relevant.
Where we need to go.
Well, not legally, so it's boring as batshit anyway, so it's difficult to read and annoying. And
Ella, how can you write monotone?
We've practiced.
And look closer at what the child is doing and why it's.
Give me an insight roll.
Ooh, that's not good. How can I reroll that thing?
Sure. We have rerolls. And look, it's almost on the time you normally start using it.
I know, right? That's better. So inside, did you say?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. What's 4?
21 seems to be making wire out of the spoons and a metal that it's stripping.
Does it do anything with the wire, or is it just making wire?
At the moment, it's making wire.
Apparently.
Kind of wild.
I kind of come over to the child and I guess sit beside it and don't say anything because it doesn't know how to communicate anyway. Just kind of
Just looks at you when you sit down.
And you spoon.
yeah, like, I can't strip this thing like you can, buddy. So
I don't know why when it's trying to hand you a spoon, I don't know why it was just going to be that comedy skit where Death is literally chasing someone with a spoon and going, you're... It's like, is Death my spoon?
I guess I asked her like, what you trying to make, buddy?
And he just looks at you.
Does he continue what he's doing, or is he just
Well, you're interacting with him, so he's staring at you.
Yeah.
He sort of perk up.
Oh yes, I made a cat burrito area.
And then when you ignore him again, he goes back to stripping metal off the cutlery.
I was very happy in the cat burrito. But he's not eating it. He's making a pile of wire.
Even I'd be happy with that. Even head scratches on me blankets, so happy.
And you know what to do with him when you get him home, Sean. You can head
I'm probably gonna wall
scratch
sit
him
in the
up in the
car
blanket.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
okay?
probably.
So you carry him in by just chucking him over one shoulder, drag him in
Oh, is
crazy.
he after my nut?
He just gets kicked out of the car.
No. So you just open the door and
Yeah, pretty much. Come on, Matt.
Crack run over my legs and Ruben then oh, by the way, I think I ran over his legs.
Yeah, by the way, I think he might be doing a whole cool now.
Well, you broke him, you gotta keep him.
You broke it, you
keep
bought it.
She wouldn't mind me. I'm not free. No one.
So it continues to do its project. Does it start to do anything else, or is it just... Where's it getting all this cutlery from, anyway?
The table.
It was on the bar, it was on the inn.
I know, but like, normally you only have like 3 or 4 bits of...
He's pinching everyone else.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's going around to all the other tables. And they're probably not happy.
Probably not. I probably have to watch it for like a couple of minutes, stop him from pinching anymore.
Will we have to watch the small child and the axe beak, or...
Plus, at least he's not
Isn't
mentioning
this
it.
technically your two stuff?
Yes, but he got like a 6 on perception, so...
I'm dying of thirst here. How the hell did you run and
Oh, you
fight in
don't
one of
need to roll
those
one.
ladies?
No, you were busy elsewhere while they were doing stuff. So you come back,
Yeah.
and you see that the little child is basically playing with knives, spoons, and forks, and trying to get cutlery.
Okay. And what
And
exactly?
Em's trying to take it away from Sal's trying to take the cutlery away from the child and putting him back on the table.
I talked to the child in Draconian and
It looks at you eagerly.
and I asked the child if the child would like to come and play Chase the Dancing Lights with me, and then I look at Sal. Dancing Lights. Works on the XP. It'll run the energy out of the child and me at the same time.
I don't think that's the child's problem, and we don't know because they have had 500 years to figure this stuff out and haven't, so
Yeah, but they
You
were...
could just try it and see if it works.
I guess I cast Dancing Lights and see what happens.
Well, those are probably just like produce flame on finger and see what happens.
Doesn't notice the lights at all.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Um,
Is it pretty super preoccupied
how,
by its
how
little
small
Doesn't even seem to interact with you.
is the child small enough to carry on my back? I asked it if it wants to have a ride and we'll have a walk around town.
He looks at you. Ears perk up.
I get myself low enough so that if the child wants to,
He hugs you.
climb on. Does he climb on?
Where just hugs you?
I hug him back. Does he climb on?
No, just hugs you.
I put him on my back. Does he resist?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I need to make a perception roll.
Yep.
So,
You're about to lose both Calvary and the
That's
child.
a 22.
Yeah, but you literally got Zal standing here going, Cal, Chris, what are you doing?
I'm taking the child for a walk so that the child stops
And you-
stealing all cutlery.
You see the dragon get up
And
with
making
the
the whole unit
little child on its back.
unhappy.
And where do you plan on going with my
Just around
child?
town. Just for a walk so that the
Your
child can see.
child.
Jeez, I've got the paperwork for it. Okay, well, I'm stuffing the paperwork back into the bag of holders and then following her around.
Just to see if that the child enjoys this ability to look around the town. It may not have seen the
I
town
mean,
before.
I call it a goblin. Oh, not goblin. What were you again? I call
Can you
it
give
a
the child a
dwarf.
name?
Please explain.
Pardon?
But
I call it a dwarf.
they don't have to be
mine.
name for it. I think they've called it, they've given it a bloody,
Designation.
they haven't given it a secret number or something like that. But
Well, they got a designation, but it's just a number.
I asked the child if the child has a name.
John looks at you, ears perk up.
Do you want to name the child?
We're in a different area now. Yeah. We can change back to the dwarf now if you want.
Actually, that's something interesting. It hasn't had any reaction at all to my pulse skull just saying my name constantly.
From the dwarf,
That's really interesting. And magic doesn't work on it, and I didn't look at it down
magic
to
only
eyes.
works on outside.
No, but that's the thing. It didn't look at the dancing lights, and it's not reacting to my pulse skull, whereas everyone else can hear bells.
So maybe it's deaf to magic.
I reckon it bloody absorbs
Or maybe it's, either absorbs magic or repels it.
Well, that's basically where I was going with the whole anti-magic, because when
So,
detect
magic
magic
doesn't
results,
speak, it's not trying to interact with us anyway.
no.
Well, when people talk at it, it looks at them.
Its ears
What
move
are you
and it
doing?
hugs.
What are we doing with this child?
Well, apparently, I request request was put in for a way for the gnomes not to punish Yodri. And so now Yodri has to find its spam.
If
Am I going for my walk around?
knowledge the health of goblinoid families, or
Well, no, but that's why we're looking through. So basically, the legalese paperwork we've been working through is their research notes of their 500 years with this child to try and get an inkling of an idea of what the hell it is. Do you know?
They
Even with
basically
a natural 20, there's a possibility you can't know anything about
they
this
came
child.
up to dead ends during the Elf War. No, they've got no research from before then of any records of the child or anything like it.
Yeah, but like the 500 years of stuff that they've done post that is that legalese stuff we're looking to, right?
And that's what they've done relating to the child, but they can't find anything about it before then.
Desolation occurred.
Quite a lot, actually.
So, if there was a lot of magic, could that have punched a hole in another dimension and it fell through?
Well, give me an Arcana roll.
It really is Yoda from the Star Wars universe.
16 plus 16.
Oh, wait a minute. Just a quick check.
Oh.
There's no guy in armor wandering around that's like a kick-ass mercenary, is there?
Not yet, but we can work that in.
Okay.
3 on the Arcana.
Okay, so the elves have what they call good and magic points, and apparently in the bad magic point, things from other worlds will appear.
Okay.
I got a 14.
And they suspect that this is.
No, that's just one of your knowledges of what things have been going wrong, and during the elf war, the elves weren't protecting the bad points.
Right.
So they spend a lot of effort stopping bad things getting out into the world.
But during the Elf War, they didn't do that.
They didn't have the people to do so, they had to...
So this could be a bad thing that came through, or something that the elves consider bad.
history check on the Great Goblin War.
Mhm.
Is there any kind of check that I can do with any major cities around said area at this stage?
Alpine would have the best records. Darrakan doesn't have any records. They weren't allowed to.
Okay, so we need to go to where you saying it?
Alpine, which is basically the big forest right next to where you are.
I thought
Because Darrakan surrounds Alpine.
Are we supposed to be going to Yavarum?
No, because the other elves that we met were the northern elves from north of the land tree, which
there's so many
kind of
elves.
yeah,
But
You
knowing
got
the
the
history
Spanish
of
elves.
Great Elf
Chuck it
War,
on the scene.
knowing what it was, who was involved, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
17.
Okay, so the current Elf King was in the war and fought, and most of the humans have no real recollection of what happened.
I bet that Elf King I read, didn't I?
No.
it was different.
Different
That was
nation.
the northern elf.
Oh, okay, alright,
Yeah,
sorry.
that one you can see at eye level. This one here will be looking down at you.
So this one is considered
Well, I'm old
a
enough.
higher rank than the other elves you've met because he is ruler of the nation, whereas the others were the equivalent of ruler of the domain of the nation.
In terms of information that we need for this trial, I have a presumed feeling that we need to go to this elven forest.
And that you got no guarantee that they'll actually have
Well,
any...
I
No,
understand.
as in let me go, you'd have no guarantee that the elves would have any knowledge of anything that came through at that time. Because their records... Because even though they had a war going on, a lot of things slipped out of their nation and ravaged the countrysides.
I have a good question. We weren't preparing to go through the desert. Is that where you have to go through to get to?
You normally skirt it. Normally skirt the south of it. Because there's no path through the forest. The elves don't have a path.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
last
but
part.
you still have to go through that to get to it, basically.
Remember the last forest we went through?
Stones with trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
we
I'm
also
just trying
did
to
the
get
story
an
of
idea of, like,
elf-
We got told we were going through the desert as
So-
part of this.
If you can see this map over here, so you've got Darrakan City here,
Yep.
you've got the desert is this region over here, Alpine is this nation here.
Okay.
See how there's this black road into there?
Yeah.
That's the only road into the Elven Forest.
Okay.
The road that you'd be going on is this road along here into the desert.
So why are we heading to the desert again?
Because that's where Red Green has given you a job.
The cults.
I thought we were going the other way.
Oh, so I'm sorry. She's actually.
These
giving us
cults
directions.
might also have information
No,
about.
that's why I was confused. I was like, because we got given directions to take this child towards.
But he didn't give you directions for the child. He gave you directions for a task he wanted.
We do have
Oh,
to return the child to its family.
So we've got 2 jobs at the moment,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, he's got a job. The rest of you have another job.
Right, okay, so that's where I'm getting monumentally confused. I'm like, we're preparing for this whole desert thing and now we have a kid.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of Bravery's current job.
That is the only job Red Green's given you. The child is a responsibility taken on by Yodri.
Yeah, it's
Which-
basically a portable life support kit.
Basically, whatever city we come across, they hear anything about this child. It's called a child. Pretty much. Yeah, basically. For you. Okay.
It's
How much was the child? How much?
I mean, you delivered the child, did you not? Whether it was the correct parents.
I'm pretty sure
I'm pretty sure there's something in there.
I know.
I would like it to be that easy. It's a really nice fantasy.
Bound if it's actually an magic.
They have a way. Some curses can actually affect things.
So, going back to what Red
A blessing won't work, but a curse will.
So, well, this is basically the intent words.
So
The
going back
thing
to
is on
what-
you. It's how they've kept it this long.
So going back to what Red asked, what was that task?
The task is
Look at
that
some runes.
there is a pyramid that has been unearthed in Yalarum that has links to ancient cults that are
Yes,
resurfacing.
the ancient
Oh,
cult. Okay, gotcha.
And this is probably linked to our research of alien technology.
Yeah. I'm all intrigued to go find out about plants, but
It's a desert. How many plants do you think are there?
Very vicious if there are any plants in there.
they're all kind of rich variety, you know.
Hopefully mimic.
Basically, we have kind of like a side quest with the kid. We've just got to keep it safe for now.
Yeah.
While we read through the legalese of what they've done so far, to try and find any semblance of a clue of what to do next.
So I suggest we leave the 400 odd pages of legalese with Brenda Waffle to do some research on, and he can read it carefully in his own time.
Chauvel is probably very into gathering supplies for the trip.
Because
You
otherwise
had
you've got
3 days to
carry
do
it
that before you
through
got the
desert
child.
and-
Okay, beautiful. So we're done with that.
Yeah.
And you've had 3 more days since you got the child to do it as well.
But surely a gnome would have a better chance of deciphering.
So you're
Follow
going
the
to
details.
look up coffee for
However long it takes to
a
get back.
couple of
I
months.
want something to do. Like really badly.
I'm not going to take Brenda Waffle to a desert.
Is there 2 copies of it that one we could take with us so we can prove
One
it?
copy. They took the other copy.
Is there an easy way to copy it?
Yes.
Yes,
well,
you pay us straight.
Huh?
You pay us straight. Don't worry, it'll only take, that you'll probably do half a page
It
of.
takes like 3
Why don't
months.
they have magical strides and just go, duplicate?
They do, but the Urkin doesn't actually have many of them.
What else we want in this?
So we're looking for the scribe called Xerox.
So this town does have so it's got the river kind of running through the city itself. They call it the Steel River runs all the way from Yalarum out to the ocean. So not Yalarum, from Ethengar all the way to the ocean.
No, because that's why we call it large.
Do we want to organise passage to the desert?
They have people talking about the horror of the Great Lake. No one really goes into
Jump
the
on a
lake.
boat part of the way there?
They
We came here by
the
boat.
lake fish are not as good as ocean fish.
So
They consider it to be tainted.
Both of them will start
Because
working.
of the wars and
Okay,
being
alright.
flying
I just
around.
forgot to ask.
I know there's a cursed island out there.
What is this place with curses?
Anything that steps on the island doesn't return. And they've actually lost a whole contingent of paladins who went out there to pacify whatever was on the island.
Okay, so if we tell the paladin that there's an island that's cursed at these paladins, he should not go.
Thank you.
What?
There's an island on the lake that is cursed.
That.
That
Ah.
these
Roger
paladins.
was talking
Not
about
accepted.
the river.
No, I'm joking.
No one goes there, and they talk about it as being the reason that the lake fish are tainted. They're the cheapest fish around because very few people want to buy them.
Chappelle's gonna find it, like, into obviously where ready to go. For the time being, he's gonna find a peaceful part on the lake and just sit and...
Well, you have to spend a couple of days going to the lake.
I think it. I
Because
think
technically-
Oh, sorry, the river. The river
Yeah,
that
the
goes
river,
through
yeah.
town. The river that goes through town. I
Yep.
want to find, like,
And he
Beautiful
gets
beaches.
Shanghai by some halflings.
You have lots of halflings who are happy to keep you company.
I think by the
as long
third
as they're
day,
I'm going to sit
we've
there,
kind of figured
meditate,
out that we
read my
can't
book.
get very far very quickly.
If anyone interrupts me, I'll be staring at them very vigorously and hoping they scare them off.
So how do you usually stare at someone?
No, like as in angrily, it's like, leave me alone. Like, it's
So-
basically intimidation.
So, are they got like some rose-tinted glasses? And then just say, you like me, don't you?
I think by the third or fourth day of reading this legalese, we've probably figured out that we're not going to get anywhere
Nope.
soon with it, and that we can do the rest in downtime while we're on our side proper trip.
I'll let you know what I am.
There's a little bit there.
Wrap. I'm actually really tempted to unwrap it so I can walk my mom anyway.
What can you remember?
Well, it's kind of like putting mom in the corner, so you know whatever. I feel really horrible about it.
So you unwrap mom?
I might do that in private, but I'll try and not touch the arrow.
You know, the...
Well, the spell ends.
Wait, wasn't it a code word to unwrap mom?
Yeah.
There was. And so that spell ends, and the wrap disintegrates.
The other thing is, you could also ask your mum.
Well, it was a one-use item.
Yeah, you could also ask your mum or your dad if they can
Stefan, how much did you
actually
pay for the wrap?
see the child.
The wrap? The...
No, I haven't touched it. I like put it in front of me. No. Okay, so I'll tell you what I did. I put the arrow.
Because them is now just a code word to unwrap it. Oh. Yeah.
No. So I went to my room. I put it on the table and then said the words. So I haven't actually touched the arrow. But now I've gone. Oh shit! What do I do?
Yeah, so you had unwrapped it.
Yeah, but you don't know. None of you know.
Now, the one thing I would like to know is if your parents can actually see the child.
Don't know. It didn't react to my dad, so I really doubt it.
No, it didn't react to your dad, but your dad actually see it.
Yeah, it was.
I could like shove the cold skull in his face, but you know.
I wouldn't do that because, no, I would just see the thing. And I don't think you want your dad to be.
No, so basically, like, in this 3 days, I probably experimented with the wrap to see if it was reusable, and I found out very quickly that it wasn't. So I haven't touched the arrow, but I've gone, shit, what do I do now? Because if I touch this, he's gonna get angry. Or she's gonna get angry. So I probably at some point wandered down the sofa and was like, oh, sofa.
Those are one-use items as well. Like, I think that'd be really
No, but you can touch it without any problem. So you can put it in my arrow holster without any repercussions.
Okay. Yes, because you want to get lost in your other arrows.
I have like 2 arrows on me otherwise.
Oh, okay.
Because I have
So that means you're on 1d3 implementation arrow and see what happens.
Change the color.
no, so I have 2. I have a sort of split. So my mom is in her own like the bottom end.
Doesn't even change to
And then my
its
2
normal color while
other
eating it.
arrows,
Does notice the change though.
unbreakable elven arrows are in the
Okay, so
top.
it doesn't.
And maybe
Okay.
like normal arrows.
So you do see it spending time scratching things in the wood.
We can always go back and get another wrap if need be.
Okay, scratching into wood? Is it actually picture or doodles or what?
Insight check.
Because it was a
14.
Looks like doodles.
Okay.
And it seems to be putting the wire it's been making out of the metal into the doodles.
Actually, see, understands what's the process.
Give me an insight roll.
I don't understand what's the process.
Okay, you set up the board and you pick one piece up in front of it, and while you're thinking, it looks at you, picks a piece up and puts it in its mouth and swallows it. And looking at you expectantly, because you picked a piece up, he's picked a piece up. It's wondering why you haven't eaten your piece by the looks of it.
Okay, well I put my piece out on the board.
It picks up your piece and then eats that too.
You mean Norton? What's happening?
He's playing eight noughts and crosses with the child.
I'll do the
Don't eat the crosses, okay?
The dead version. The only one I could probably teach is beating trick. While throwing food at it, he tries to catch it.
It's not a pet.
Sure, you throw food at it. Give me an attack roll.
I don't want to know what's going on right now.
That's a 19.
Okay, you hit it right in the forehead. It just looks at you with the ears droop. And then it starts screaming.
Okay.
Give me a will save. Wisdom saving throw.
That's a 19.
Okay, you can feel dampness around your ears. And you pull it away, it's red.
Okay. Well, start moving up and try to pacify it.
Give me a persuasion roll.
That I'm good at. I'm going to re-roll that one. Well, it was really enough of that. Can you re-roll it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely re-rolling that one. Yeah.
So what do you get on your between the first two rolls?
Okay. Best I got was 12.
Okay. He doesn't stop crying, but doesn't cry as loud. Yes, you hear a scream that is quite painful coming from the food area.
Okay, so I go and...
Hey, doesn't like rub.
Well, I'm over there. I'm down by the river now.
Yeah, you see Yodri trying to calm the child.
Okay.
Not doing so well.
I approach the child
And there is a food stain all over its face.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Can I still can smell or look what the food is?
Apparently Yodri hit it in the forehead with a piece of fruit.
I see. Is there any other food present?
I'm literally down by the river.
There is other food present.
What other food is present? Fruit or?
Fruit, cheeses.
Okay. I take a piece of, I take some grapes
Mm-hmm.
and I offer him a single grape.
I'll get you to make a persuasion roll.
Yep, come on.
I'm so glad I have the earpiece of the screen. I'm down by a very calming river.
Oh shit, that's a 3. Can I do some reroll?
Okay, use your reroll as well.
I'm glad we're using them.
Shit, 7. Okay.
Okay, apparently he doesn't like grapes.
Wait a minute. Okay, so try a strawberry. Do I roll again?
Yep.
Why would it choke my leg?
So much for saying, yeah, it's empty.
Persuasion is what?
Persuasion is charisma.
Plus 3, so that's 12. Does he like grape strawberries?
Either that or he's not interested in food at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, the
Is
kids
there any
don't
like
make
fish
it
or
healthy.
ham or... Is there any meat? Chicken?
You have a look around, give me a perception roll.
16 plus 5.
You find there are some chickens.
Okay. Like real chicken?
Real chicken.
A live chicken.
Well, you want a live chicken, you can go
No,
and
no,
get one.
no. It's dead chicken.
Yeah.
Cooked dead chicken. Okay. I offer him a sniff of a drumstick.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
11 plus 3, 14.
He's a bit quieter, but he doesn't seem to be pacified.
Okay. Is there any beef or pork or something like that around?
Sure, you
I
have a look
think
around.
the kid is stressed because its current parents pelted it with an orange.
Okay.
Wow!
I dance funnily and wiggle my ears.
Okay, give me a performance roll. Apparently that was a bad roll.
Oh, come on, that was a 20! I'll say
Law does not count. That's the rule.
Really?
Yeah,
I was 20 iPad this year.
I know. It's a shame it hit the floor.
You gotta roll again and get another 20. Think positively.
17.
Six, still good.
Better than 12.
And apparently, Caltrix got angry about something and was doing
Oh,
dance.
I
And
don't deserve that. I've served you hand and foot tonight. I don't deserve
It's
that.
the angst stance. It's the angry
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm putting away your food. So,
are you filtering me?
punishing me? Yes. Because I got my first natural 20. It is natural that I was upset that I couldn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
I accepted it and I rolled again.
Mm-hmm. With some grumbling.
Yeah, more grumbling.
So yes, you do a dance that amuses
If
the
you married to the GM and you can't argue with him, what is there in your world?
the child is apparently amused by your grumbling and
And listen, M's got one worse. She's engaged to a stubborn nurse.
I've been married to him for 20 years. He's GMing me for 20 years. How long have you been with
You
him?
know what's better? Is I'll start tickling him, and then he gives up.
I take whatever time you need times that by like 5.
It's funny because Emma's been nagging me probably for like the whole year we engaged to get something checked out on my back, and I just haven't done it.
so you want everyone else to nag you now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You know how I feel when...
Oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
No, okay, that's less important than some other things that you have on.
4 months, yeah, do a test. Right.
The other option is you just
I love you, sweetheart. I am so sorry for being so disappointed that I didn't get to use my first natural 20 of the night. But I accept your rules.
Mm-hmm.
So, the child was tapering and grumbling. I continue to do that. I tend to play games with the child.
Him too.
I tend to play a game with the child.
Okay. He likes to eat the pieces.
He likes to eat the pieces.
If you play a game with pieces, he likes to eat the pieces. Apparently,
Okay,
you have to
yeah,
record him
cheese
that one.
pieces. So he's eating all the cheese?
Yep.
Have fun when you change his diaper.
Well, that's what precipitation is.
I also try the game with nuts to see whether or not he likes eating nuts just as much.
He does.
And I generally try to keep the baby in a good mood and enjoy himself. I also check the baby's forehead for damage. Is there any...
Give me a, I think it's, do we have it in this the skills. Medicine roll.
I'll do an medicine roll to see that.
It's the understanding of damage.
I probably don't... Well, you understand some of this and stuff.
But it's knowing what it means.
But what would that be?
Wisdom bonus.
It's unexpected.
14, he does have a cut on the forehead.
Is it that? Do I need to do a...
Very good.
Do I need to do like a deception check to see how major or minor it is?
You don't think it's major, you think it more scared the child.
Okay, alright. So, me being a dragon and not having hands or anything, like Nicky's forehead and hope it's funny.
Mm-hmm. It's tasty.
It's tasty. It tastes like berry.
What does he taste like?
Berries
It probably tastes like a one.
and cheese.
He tastes like
Berries and
whatever.
cheese. Oh, it tastes like what he eats.
Well, basically he smears himself with it when he eats it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's it. Let me taste whatever what you threw at me.
This is why they said use prestidigitation on at every opportunity.
Yeah.
Well,
His hands don't quite reach as well, so he just, covers the whole face with it when he eats. So if he picks up a bit of the cheese, it's like, sort of like shelf. And then there's just cheese everywhere.
I...
Has he not learned to use the implements he's been eating?
No.
Because he eats the implements, or he strips them.
We're still in the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
I demonstrate using cutlery to see whether or not he'll copy me.
No.
He picks up the cutlery and starts stripping the metal off it.
Yeah.
Stripping the metal of it. What? His teeth? Okay.
What is with nails?
I offer to trade his cutlery for food.
How does he scratch the thing when he's got balls as well?
But he swaps the cutlery for food and eats that.
Alright, that's fine. As long as he's not eating metal and hurting himself.
He's not eating the metal.
No.
He's stripping it.
He's stripping it, and then he draws a doodle and then he puts the metal in it.
Oh, is that what he does? Sorry.
It's just something over there.
The character, you weren't there when he was doing her, but...
Sorry, yeah. I was going to the bathroom and put the food away.
Oh, good.
How late is it?
You can still pack up and head off, depending on where you're choosing to go.
Okay. I suggest we go and pack up and head off.
They never left the cutlery with him after he started trying to damage it.
What about chopsticks?
He probably
Probably,
uses
eh?
the wood.
You probably shield it because it's not metal.
They didn't like him damaging things.
Oh, I completely that.
You'd be in for interesting times.
We essentially have to hand feed the child, which is probably not surprising.
Yeah, not really.
We need a hand feed.
Yes, we do. We need to make sure it eats.
I think at this point we save the legalese for downtime.
No,
Get moving,
I was just curious that actually we found something that they were aware of.
which was
Well, he strips the metal and he does a doodle thing and then he puts metal into it.
okay, right.
So
he
he's-
even actually would probably get a little famous for that.
So is it like artwork?
Don't know.
Give me an insight check.
Well, that's why I couldn't work it out.
14,
Basically what it-
is insight intelligence or wisdom?
Wisdom.
So 16.
Remind you of some of the designs you've seen in the Catfolk stuff.
Oh, okay. Can I strip metal with my teeth?
You never tried.
I try.
That hurts.
I give him a fork and ask him to strip metal for me.
You do.
Then I try and do what he does.
Okay.
What are you learning from this?
Because she's also a baby dragon.
I'm trying to find a point of commonality with the child.
Again, I'm not there. I'm down by every
I'm trying to develop a rapport.
But it seems that he's not able to get the meditation right. He seems to keep on going. What's that child up to?
Okay, so... Yes,
I draw a doodle with the metal indicating into the
mhm.
doodle and I look for his book.
He just looks at it, shakes his head and goes back to what he's doing.
I give him my bits of metal and see if he can do better.
Well, he's been carving, he carves his doodles into wood and then puts it into that.
Oh, wood, not dirt. I see. What wood?
Yeah, he breaks that off chairs and things.
Oh, I see. I go back to our suggestion suggestion that we should leave?
This is why they were trying to stop his destructive tendency. He's basically like a 3-year-old toddler that just wants to like doodle crowns on the wall.
Okay.
And he's like,
I will
like my
stop him if he
axe
does try to get to the walls. The tables he can handle.
Well, no, he quintessentially sounds like my axe beak. But my axe beak is what
Except at
doodling.
least
Yes,
your
but-
axe beak will chase dancing lights. This one won't.
Yeah, well, the other thing is the axe beak was caused because of this person.
What? I never caused the axe beak. What?
Who's the one who showed him runes?
Oh yeah.
Show him.
Yeah, you did show
You didn't encourage him to draw.
I did. Notice how several times tonight we blamed Chauffeur for something. Chauffeur's been indignant and gone, what? Me? And then we give examples and the Chauffeur's like, oh yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that was me.
You are quickly becoming the typical diva. I'm sorry that I'm staying in a 4-star hotel. What, me doing this? No!
And you wonder why Drizzle doesn't like you.
I sagely nodded the child.
He's just jealous.
Diva!
So what type of designs is it, like spirals and everything?
Well, you're not really too sure because it seems to like crisscross itself and goes in strange
But I
geometric
recognise
designs.
the design vaguely. Where did you say I recognised it from? I'd seen it.
The Recaster
The
folk.
Recaster, yeah. The cat folk.
Cat folk, yeah.
The smart.
The smart, the sciencey alien. Oh, we might have an alien.
Yeah, we kind of gathered that.
Are we heading off? GM says we've got time. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, we just need to pick up the paladin who's decided to get drunk with the halflings.
Thank you.
I'm not drunk with the halfling.
Oh, yes you are.
I'm meditating down by the river.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so when you come out of meditation, you find yourself covered in flowers.
Are they burns?
No.
Okay.
They've also been laid all over you.
Oh, you went to the hippie ones. Oh.
So there is an incense stick sitting in one of your hands that's slightly singed.
Hey, I never thought of that.
To one of the...
They've all gone. They basically did this and left
I never
it.
thought of that. Use you a portable insect burner.
Just add it to the list.
No, you basically just put it back under the portable fire starter, okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you are a portable fire starter.
Listen, I'm probably relaxed because I didn't have to do with everything that was going on.
And you had this wonderful, relaxing time. And so much so, you just completely zoned out for a while. And then when you woke up, all your stuff was still there. Nothing had been touched. They'd even cleaned it. Your bag's being cleaned, your shoes are being cleaned, your clothes are sort of being cleaned.
Ooh, great.
Well, it's hard to take it off you and clean it and put it back on.
We're about to get hit with. Oh.
Big rain coming through.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a thunderstorm coming.
Yeah, just a
Big thunderstorm that almost was a tablet down.
yeah. just a tiny bit of rain. Just a little bit.
This good is only a tiny bit.
It's the purple ones.
Maybe it'll be rained out by the time it gets here.
Yeah, right. That's a bigger front that came through yesterday, though.
Because it's tracking almost south.
Southeasterly.
For a while.
Okay, so yes, you managed to get everything together. Chauffeur now has a donkey that looks at him with disgust.
So nothing new.
Yeah,
So apparently your legs are long enough to reach the ground while you're sitting on the donkey.
I feed the donkey an apple.
How long
What
has
was
it
that?
been since you've grown?
I feed the donkey an
What
apple.
did you name your donkey? I thought it was a cow.
No, it's a donkey.
His original mount was a donkey.
Yeah.
Back when he started his character.
No, but I thought it was like a giant cow, not a donkey. Or mule.
No, it's-
Sorry,
It
a
was
mule.
mule. Probably was a mule.
It's a mule.
It was a mule,
Actually,
yes.
it's skirting past Canberra.
No, it's
moving.
we're about to get here. It's going southeast.
We'll probably hear the booms soon.
It's
Is it a big storm?
it's
Oh yeah, it is.
yeah. So the motion of the storm is
Oh, wow.
actually going southeast.
And then it's moving
So
slightly
it's
across and just doing
moving
it.
east.
So,
And this is the 256.
okay.
there's quite a lot of rain coming.
Yeah.
So you've been given directions to look for the pyramid somewhere not far from the road on the way from Selenica to Yalara.
Okay.
Once you get out into the desert,
Is it a long trip? Do we know?
it would be about 2 to 3 weeks to get out
I
there.
remember when we was named.
Going back to like a
And
really early
Kendra.
question in regards to
I was
Speed.
named after you.
Given the desert would probably be
That's
hot,
right, you
Because
were.
I was
And
not
he's got
the-
not
the-
And he's
I
not
got-
a
I
desert
got the
creature.
named
He
after
could, you
Sally
could probably leave him here.
That's right.
can I though?
Well, who knows what will happen when you come back?
You
I
could
would-
give Grindelwald instructions in the calming.
I mean, I would prefer to take him with me and get like asbestos boots like he's got it. I mean, we've had like a week to have
No,
something made.
I don't think it actually walks. Rough sections are probably, but if it gets to the sand sections, that's what.
Ow. Well, I
Would
mean,
asbestos boots work for sand?
well, or something of the line.
Sand shoes.
Yeah, well,
Sedges.
since
No.
they're elemental, they can adjust their feet.
So let's see.
If not, I really don't.
Apparently, no one around here works in that sort of stuff because they believe that horses are best for the desert or camels. Camels is the preference. So people keep talking to you about camel shoes. You go, no, XP, and then you
No.
describe the XP and they go, that's not a camel.
So
Can
Your
I
horse is
maybe
going,
retrofit
"Yes, I
camel
win."
boots to the Axby?
Well, you look at it. That basically you have to destroy the boots to try to get them to fit the XP because he has clawed feet and they have small stumps.
the other option is take your horse into the
probably
Axby.
do it together.
And then the horse will go,
Have a-
yes, I win.
I am a smith, so
Oh, yeah, too, that's right. Is it
So
metal?
you're gonna fashion something?
I can if needed.
You have to make him
I
sandals.
think it sounds like you do.
Well, I mean, like...
Chauffeur actually has to do something. You have to lift a tool. Chauffeur has never lifted a tool in her life.
Didn't I modify the metal? Oh,
That's what you're
That was not chauffeur. That was Emdrak.
That was under.
I have the skills, just haven't.
Chauffeur has
Can't you
never
just
done it.
sing to the smiths and get them to do it for you?
None of them seem to know it.
Why? It's part of my heritage, which somebody checked.
So it's no longer part of your heritage
Look,
then.
look at your polar bear, not me.
I mean, I could leave the Axbeak here, but, like, given that I've been trying to, not gain its trust, but, like, prove that I love both him and Artemis and
I love you. Stay here.
yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't want that to happen, because, like, it's literally been told this is why he's...
I think that's an admirable sort of goal. So if chauffeur can customize something for your
Yeah, or,
Axbeak,
like,
that
even,
would be
even
ideal.
if you could tell the metalsmiths, like,
And we
do
can bring the
this.
gnomes along, so we can do the metal cover in the smith room.
Well, they are a heavy metal band.
Exactly.
Yeah, because, like, leaving the Axbeak here, that's just, in Zal's mind, that is, like,
Bad.
the worst idea in existence. Now that I've had my eyes open to the fact that he's really destructive when he doesn't think I'm giving him equal attention. And so leaving for, like, 3 weeks. But Zal isn't like that.
Well, he's not been that destructive when she's been giving it lots of attention. The more attention she gives it, the less destructive it's been.
So it's working.
Yeah, but you're...
Equal opportunity between my animals is working.
But it is still jealous, so if you give any attention to the horse, it gets destructive.
Oh, yeah, but like,
So
I'm
it's the
trying.
horse... That's not the... It's the horse worked this out, yeah?
Yeah, the horses work this out, and the horse tries to get more attention just to make the XP worse.
Don't look at me like that.
Telling the horse you do realise you're the only one suitable to go to the desert.
He knows that.
I'm also
It's
a bit
smart.
ill stuff.
Oh, the thing is, I'm also put to talk down.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Emdrak stuff.
Why don't you just tell it that
That's
the
your
Axbeak can't go due to the fact that he can't walk on the sand?
do you realise that Axbeak is probably even dumber than this child thing that we have, right?
Well, the horse is happy
Yeah, no,
because the horse actually knows that
I
you've
know
got no
Artemis is
choice.
happy. I
You've
know
got no
he's
choice.
happy.
You have to take him.
I know Artemis is
And
happy.
he wants extra rations.
So is my bloody mare. She's not even a mare, she's bloody old.
You guys have to head off soon. You're crashing. Okay, so we start the end of the session with you guys heading off to your with a new child.
And we'll work out the semantics of the axe beak later, because... Oh boy.
I know, it's a nice quandary.
Yes, it's just, a little bit.
Well, he's very possessive.
A little bit?
Well, you did raise it.
You said very, not little.
Even then, that's kind of a massive understatement.
Well, it's basically a look at me, you're not looking at me, look at me, look at me, you're not looking at me, look at me, look at me.
So
Constantly.
it's modelling itself on Shoka.
That's a bit of a stretch.
Sorry, she's a nag. That's right, because she's an all of these.
You said you're a diva.
I'm not a cat though.
Oh, the cat will at some point going, I've had enough, and walk away.
Yeah.
The Axebeak never has enough.
Oh, sorry, Archer is the nag, and Artemis is my warhorse, my big warhorse.
So we finish up the
I
game
think
now?
we're finishing up the game now.
Thank you for hosting
All
and
good.
GMing, and I'm sorry I lost my temper when I didn't get my natural 20 on the phone.
It's all good.
I'm tired.
We all are a bit tired.
I think we're all in a bit of low at the moment.
I make a lot of allowance.
I've got a lot of